Hey, welcome everyone to the Sketch Zone podcast. I'm Carlos Gomez, and today we're going to talk to probably my twin. But we're going to get to know her a little bit better. That, my friends, is, hang on.
Uh-oh.
I'm hearing myself, and that's not good. So let's say hi to Eva Sowinski.
There it is. Yeah.
Hi.
Elbow, wrist. Okay, hey.
Hey.
As you can see, we are a finely tuned machine.
It's great.
Of wonderfulness. Oh, hey. Speaking of wonderfulness, hi, Charlie B. Williams III.
What's up, Sketch Zone Nation? What's up, Eva? Thanks for coming on. I'm good to be here. I feel great. I like my sweater I have on today. It's really cool. Chicago's not in any kind of like snow yet, so we're once again way better than New York. I'm here. Yeah, I went there. This week. What's up?
You're
snowing your bad pizza.
This is a family show, and you're picking fights.
I'm just saying they got bad pizza.
Put them up. Oh, hey.
Yeah, what's up?
If anyone has questions for Eva or anyone on the panel, go ahead and use the Sketch Zone hotline. That's 408-753-8248. That's 408-SKETCH-8. Or,
well, Noelle doesn't have a question. She's just telling you guys that you're very handsome, unless that was directed at me. I don't know.
I'm not really sure. We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
It probably wasn't.
Every once in a while, we get some frisky vixens on here, and we have to figure out what the hell that's all about.
Yo, Baba, did you just say frisky vixens? Okay.
Yeah. That's your next prompt. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Jack's gone for a week, and this is what happens. I'm sorry, Jack. I can't control him when you're not here.
Noelle says, haha, no, you're a hottie, Eva.
Oh.
There it is.
Sorry, guys.
Boom. All good.
I paid her $5 to say that, so we're good.
And then Stephanie Rizzo says, Eva, you are handsome.
I like
Hey, Carlos, I think that's the girl that you follow and think is super awesome. Just saying.
Yeah. What? Yeah. If that's that stuff, then yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
I will go publicly and exclaim my passion for her art. I have been cyber stalking you, Stephanie, for a little while now, and I am not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
So
all the time. It's crazy.
Hey, if you're trying to get a hold of us while we're not having a show and you're calling in internationally, use the phone number 011-408-753-8248 because we do have an international audience. With that being said, we're going to move right into I don't have this sound effect, and
can we make our own?
Sure. You have to sing it though.
Yeah.
Okay. You do. What do I sing?
Something about not artist inspiration, but I believe every day's a good day when you paint. Those are the words.
I believe,
and everything's good thing to paintness. See, I was close. I was good.
Yes.
My memory, I don't retain things.
Nailed it.
That's good.
Yo,
okay,
so we have a couple of fun prompts to catch up on. 2 weeks ago, when we had the one and only Steven Silver on the show, we had Demon Belly Dancer on the Prowl.
It was the best fun prompt.
It was a good one.
So
let's take a look. This one is by Bad Art Corner,
there we go.
Which I call BS on the Bad Art Corner part. Yeah. But yeah, he did a really good job.
He did his thing. Yeah.
I like it.
I am like a stickler for horns. So the fact that everybody's going with the demon horn thing, I'm down. That's rad.
Nice.
Many horns.
I like his coloring in this too. Like the backlight. Yeah. Really good stuff. I like this one. This is
and she's got Badonk.
Nice.
He's got badonk.
He does have badonk.
Mr. Happy Pencil. I mean, this is a good one.
I like that name.
I dig the eyes, like all around the edges. I think that's a cool additive to it.
And this is a perfect example of how when Steven Silver was on, he said, artists have a tendency to spend way too much time rendering. I don't know how much time was taken here, but we get a really good idea of the message that he's trying to send. Nice loose drawing. The colors are good, and you can tell that he had a really good idea and he delivered on it.
Yeah.
Unless he took 4 days to do this, and then
I'm sorry. Whoa, then I.
It's a week. No. Speed that up. Let's go.
Yeah.
We got Pat Mast with a frisky vixen. But
did you read what they wrote?
I've tried to challenge myself here. Result being meh. Demon Bella dancing on the prowl. I think I like it.
It's on the prowl, you know.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah.
I like the expression on the face. The pose is difficult. Animals are hard to get.
They are.
You know what? Thinking outside the box on this one. That's what I like.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. This one's hilarious. LJ McDonald. This guy.
Sexy.
Poor thing.
Yo.
look at the nipples on this bad boy.
Oh, that's rad.
Got the twirlies on there.
Here we go. It's the Ren and Stimpy.
Cover those nips.
That Ren and Stimpy stuff.
I don't know if it's drooling or is that mucus. I don't know. I was wondering.
I think that's
good point.
Working up a sweat.
On the prowl. It's on the prowl. It just wants
stuff.
Hungry for attention. Oh, yours truly. Charlie Daniels. Devil went down to Georgia, and Devil couldn't do it, so he sent another frisky vixen to handle it.
Hey, a man's gonna listen to that. You know what I'm saying?
Totally paid to be there.
Win every time.
Oh, it's Mr. Tom. I know it's Mr. Tom. I know him. He's amazing. Yeah. He wrote me today and was so excited. And this is, I'm sure he knew maybe that do you just pick these randomly or do they know?
We show all of them.
We pick them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We pick them prompt on the show.
I'm so excited. I get to see his artwork and I love it per usual.
Yeah. It's all natural too.
Very nice. Yeah.
Show you the paint. Let you know that he's got the skills.
He's OG artist right there.
Yeah.
Maestro, please.
Here we go.
Oh, is it Shiloh? Oh, that's
Shiloh's a beast.
Delivers every week.
Love that dude.
Every week.
Oh, hey, Eva. I don't know if this is gonna make you jealous or not, but I'll show you later when I'm not sharing my screen. I'll show you.
Wait, hold on. Wait. This is a family show here too, even when we're off screen. No, I'm just kidding.
Here. We can do like this. Oh, look. Is that Shiloh stuff?
Is it? Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
When did you get that?
Last year sometime.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Framed up and everything.
I was, when that showed up, I was like, what have I done?
Yeah.
To deserve this. That's glad amazing. I did it.
Thank you for sharing that moment with me and everybody else on the screen.
Oh, I don't stop.
Yeah, he shows up.
That's I'm quite braggadocious when it comes to my Shiloh art.
That's like tiki vibe meets demons. I don't know. He needs to make that a print and start selling it.
They're all different faces too, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
So cool.
I like that one.
All right, let's see. We got Refi Took. This was just hilarious. Speed dating.
Catching fire.
I just love that his feet's on fire and it's burning the floor.
And super loose and stylized. Like I dig that. Just like
totally.
Quick sketch there.
All right, so then that leads us into last week. We had male pig floating. This one was, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun. We're gonna see a lot of quality. We're gonna see a lot of quality artwork.
How'd you get this one?
Steven, we were using Steven Silver's app.
Yo, his app just
His app is, he just here. Come and get it. Oh, this is a Mamer submitted this one a little bit late, but there you go.
Oh, I dig it.
The demon belly dancer on the prowl. I like it. All right, so let's see. We have Maestro, please.
Yeah.
Shiloh with the floaty pig.
Like this.
It's so cute.
If you guys get a chance, Shiloh puts up videos on Instagram of his process.
Of this one?
He does it randomly. He did one of this one. He did one of this one. And that 1 minute clip, you'll learn so much. So yeah, stalk him, Shiloh.
And I love seeing the lines around it. Just saying, like all the guidelines and sketch lines.
Yeah.
That's rad. That's like one of my favorite things is the concept art behind like the finished piece. Is one of my all-time faves.
Same Z's. So let's take a look. This is Mr. Happy Pencil again. Little floaty pig, dead AF. I bet you that bacon was tasty.
That bacon though.
Oh.
This is Graham. Graham, I love his gestures. His gestures are always just super, super strong. Yeah, so good work, Graham.
Awesome.
We got Beck Vardoodles.
This is
Oktoberfest. I Heart Versed. This one's clever. Summer and the Mutts.
Good job, Summer.
Very cool.
I like this one.
There's so many people who took the floating thing in such a completely creative way that it was just, this was one of the more clever ones. Nope. This one is a floating male pig.
Nice.
Which is funny because I always think of Three Amigos, where he's like, "It's a mail plane. Did you see its little balls?" And they're talking about a plane, whatever. And that was the first thing I thought when you said floating or male floating pig, whatever.
That's perfect. That's so good. Classic movie.
Classic pigs.
We got Zabax.
Just let it sunk into his gut.
Just, yeah. The belly is older.
You don't care?
Nope. And that, I don't know, but that tail is a little bit perfectly placed.
No.
Not the same thing.
I'm assuming that's a tail.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he did. Let's take a look. This one, someone went to Taco Bell.
I love this. This is one.
Refive Tuck.
This one showed up on my thread. I saw this one too when it got posted.
So good. So good.
I like how his head, only his head is
supposed to hold it.
Sorry.
Emily's doing this. Very good job.
Smart.
And it just goes to show you, you don't have to have like a finished colored piece. Just do a sketch, deliver the idea, and then we're moving on.
Even the shading and the shadow.
Depth. Yeah, this one has really good depth. You can tell he's high up in clouds.
This one is way too
one. Yeah.
That's cute.
Frugolarosa.
You're doing real good on these names.
This one feels like a card. Like I want this on like a birthday card.
Exactly.
Like
exactly. That's my
little kid.
Super cute.
Be like, happy birthday, here's a flying pig.
Yeah.
I don't care about my present. I'm gonna keep the card. Right? Now? Too soon?
Yes. Okay. Way too soon. No. Yours truly, getting a little floaty pig.
I like this one, Carlos. This one's good. I like this one.
Look at it.
He's like a little buff. He's a little buff.
It only took us 3 years for you to give me a little love on my artwork.
I give you love every week. This one's like a buff pig. Like he had to go to work for this.
What is he reaching for?
He's waving. The original idea to this, I had a little flat Earth happening down here.
Oh, you're stupid.
Just because I thought it would be clever.
Mm-hmm.
I like flat Earth theorists.
Yeah, I know a couple of you.
Like,
you also believe in the Vatican, don't you? Controlling it all.
It's all about the Illuminati.
Shiloh's writing you. Hey, Shiloh. Shiloh's talking.
Shiloh's in the chat.
Everyone stop, Shiloh.
Yes, Shiloh's here.
Welcome.
No one else says can't go wrong with the pig.
Well, amazing work, Shiloh.
This one's awesome. When this one happened,
this one's
killed it again.
Yeah, the facial expression in this one's awesome.
And look at he's got the long handkerchief coming out of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty clever. Little card.
That's not an au natural one. That's colored pencils, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Another one.
Another cute
illustration. Another home run for like green card companies.
Yeah.
And again in the clouds.
Mm-hmm. Floating pigs.
That's right.
When pigs fly.
Oh, we have something for that. Wait for it.
Wait
for it. The hardest part of this was figuring out where to put the helium. Hello, I like this one. Kevin Anders, well played, sir.
Nice, buddy.
Tip of the hat. Oh, look at that body.
Rookie tune coming in.
I love it. Look at those little nipples.
Blood oil machine.
So cute.
His belly button looks like a safety pin.
Yeah, like the last thing I thought we'd be like looking at is pig nipples tonight. So that's like a highlight.
And that's only the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
55th.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was very cool.
Great job, guys.
The 55th. And that's it for that. So that leads us into picking the
one for next week.
The fun prompt for next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this. Thank you, Steven Silver, 1, for this wonderful app. 2, for coming on the show last time.
Shout out to Steve.
And 3, we're going to talk about number 3 here in a little bit. Ooh. However, hey, Eva, do we want to go easy or do we want to go hard on the drawing?
Oh, well. Take it easy on what we're saying here. Sorry.
Yo, this is funny. This is funny because this used to be like go back to like first 20 episodes with the whole pause thing.
And we're back.
He has paused you like 15 times. Give me a check. Because he's out of pocket right now.
I want to like touch it and do the spinny thing, but I can't. So I want to go hard.
All right, so let's see.
We're gonna do. You know whose fault that is, though. Why I want to go hard is because of Shiloh. Because I think it's way too easy, and I'm gonna take it down now.
Ooh, oh, you hear that, Shiloh? The gauntlet has been
throwing her hat into.
Okay, all right, so we have character, gender, outfit, and action. Let's do one expression. Do we want to do? There's other things here. Okay. We should get Steven to like sponsor this segment.
I know, right? Yeah, come on, Steven, be a sponsor. Okay. What do I do?
So we have character, gender, outfit, action, and then there's also art style, which I don't want to do because I'm not that good. Height, body type, we can do. Age,
yeah. Come on.
How about 1 or 2 expressions?
Let's dig deep this week. Come on.
Does that make sense? Yeah. No. This is going to be hard AF.
Yeah.
Numero dos. 2 expressions.
How many of them have we had? Everybody should be used to this now, right? We prepped people. Now
all right. So check this out, guys.
Okay.
It's spinning. I wish I would have thought this all the way through, because then I would have been able to share it on the
share this screen here.
All right, we're gonna do a Black or African human.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm just
Wow.
reading.
Okay.
That's cool.
You guys wanted to go female.
Okay.
A Black female wearing a skeleton costume. You guys can't see that.
I got ideas.
As she's walking, finally something relatively easy.
Walking, and then the last one.
The last two. Desperate and self-destructive.
Yo! Boom! Life isn't about going easy, guys. It's about going hard.
With a hard D.
You're welcome, Charlotte.
Hard.
Oh boy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a long quote this week.
A Black female walking.
Yeah.
A Black female walking.
Just realized.
A Black female wearing a skeleton's outfit. But she has to be desperate and self-destructive. So it sounds like she's dating.
You got a whole bunch, because the skeleton outfit, that can be like.
She must have been on Tinder.
She's probably on Tinder.
Sorry if you're on Tinder. Sorry.
She's on Tinder as she's trick-or-treating.
Quit trying to help the audience. Keep it to yourself.
I'm walking through my thought process.
You know what he's doing? He's trying to work it out in his head.
Shiloh says, "Geez, thanks so much, Eva."
That's what I have to say.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Noella.
We should stream together as we do that.
That was a crazy one.
Hold on. Are we taking this to another level? Are we streaming together now?
Stream. We just can't cross the streams. And it gets messy.
Really hard for me, but that's fine.
Yo.
Let's drink more water and get ready for streaming.
Yo, we might have to do a stream live segment.
That's it. A Black human female wearing a skeleton outfit, walking in a desperate and self-destructive manner. I don't know if we have that much room in the fun prompt announcement.
You gotta use ball tech.
Can you hashtag that? Just kidding.
Yeah. You know what? Jack's gonna read this from wherever he is in the world and be like, what kind of prompt?
See, and this is a conversation that usually gets Jack to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Jack was like, let's bring it back.
I'll go on some weird little random rat hole and he'll bring me back. Right when Jack says, oh, okay, I know I've gone too far.
The Facebook filter is going to be amazing tomorrow. Wake up and Jack's going to be like, what did you guys do?
What happened? For those of you guys that don't know, Jack is traveling this week for work. Mm-hmm. And I believe, he ended up in India, but I think right now he's somewhere in Asia. I think Bangkok, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, miss you, Jack. Yeah, Sound effects are.
I hardly knew ye.
Yeah. Oh, this is another time where Jack's not here.
I know, and he really wanted to be. He really wanted to be. That we've had people on the show 3 times, and we say, "Oh yeah, Jack," and the guy was like, "Who's Jack?"
He doesn't really exist.
Nope, he doesn't.
And then Jack would listen to the show later, like, "Oh, you don't know me."
So yeah, that's the fun prompt.
All right, all you regulars.
Let's talk a little bit about. Hey, Charlie.
What's up, man?
You wanted to talk about some stuffs.
Yeah, I got to give you the current events that's going on. This week is GDC this week, so we're going to move into a little bit of 3D. Current events. Don't get scared. All the 2D artists are on the chat right now. They'll be okay.
I'll say poor Jack.
It's going to be okay. Yeah. So, with that being said, this week, just a little bit of current events of those, we're getting into what I like to call convention season, right? So, this week was the GDC in San Francisco. So, it was the Game Developers Conference. That's like the big dog and pony show for the gaming industry, real-time industry. All the major heavy hitters, students, as well as industry professionals, all flock to the San Francisco area. And they're there all week, and we see what's the latest and greatest in terms of the video game industry and what all the different companies are doing. So a couple of quick notes for those of you guys that play a little bit more games. You know about Fortnite. Fortnite was made by a company called Epic. Epic makes the game engine called Unreal. It's making big, huge strides in the industry. One of the engines that we use at the job I work at, as well as another engine called the Unity engine. Both of these engines are starting to blur the lines between VFX and games.
Blurred lines. I know you want it. I know you want it. You're a good game.
Hey, Jack, I really need you here this week. Carlos is on another level. Anyway.
No crickets. No crickets.
Carlos like, yes. No crickets. I'm cricket free. Anyway.
Bad jokes galore.
So with that being said, there's some of the cool stuff. Check out some of the demos on YouTube about the state of Unreal and the state of the Unity engine. They look really good. One of the couple highlights, there's a crazy game. We're streaming live right now on Twitch. So if you're a regular on Twitch and you look at more than just the creative streams like what you're listening to now, you might have seen a game called Fortnite. Fortnite is a really big, what they like to call battle royale game that is being streamed by a lot of the popular streamers. There's one popular streamer by the name of Ninja who had the famous rap artist Drake on with him playing a game, and it broke. Dreezy broke the record on Twitch. So over the last weekend, they had 600,000 concurrent people watching.
How many people whipped that ass though?
They're winning. They won every game.
What?
He was doing pretty good. It's crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, you got a lot of money. He ain't doing much during the day, so he's only making hit albums. It's not that hard, I guess. Anyway, so 600,000 people. It's life goals, Carlos, that we're trying to reach here at Sketchstone to get 600,000 people watching us at once.
We got close once.
Yeah, we did. We got real
close once.
Yeah, we did.
Huh. Take that, Dreezy.
So there's that. Unreal did some really cool things. So that same company that made that game released. They've been working with ILM and a couple other VFX studios the last couple of years to try to push the engine. And they did this real cool demo with assets from the most recent Star Wars movie, where they rendered the whole thing in that game engine, and it looked amazing. So they've basically figured out how to do what's called real-time ray tracing, which is it's a thing that you usually do with traditional software like Max or Maya, and they have renderers and all these other film companies that do traditional animation. That's why animations look so beautiful and reflections look the way they do. And usually in games for a long time, those things have had to be hacks or tricks in order to get that stuff to look the same. But now the technology is starting to get to the point where they can do that same type of quality and have it real time. So it's really, really cool stuff. Check out GDC if you're into 3D, into some of those things. There's a lot of different things going on. I think the next
new games for the Atari 2600.
They actually came out with a version of Atari that they were selling, like one of those mini versions. I don't know if it's already been out. So yeah, so you can get your Atari if you really want to. But check it out. There's other stuff. I think the next big one for that is E3 and a couple other stuff. But yeah, it's convention season. More stuff is coming up.
WonderCon is this weekend.
That's the one. Yes. There's, the C2E2 is coming in a couple weeks too for Chicago, which is comic book convention for Chicago too. So there's a bunch of stuff.
Where's WonderCon?
WonderCon is right here in Anaheim, California.
OMG.
Lots of people are at it and setting up tonight that I know. So it's gonna be pretty epic though, because it's our first year back here, because it moved to LA where they do Comikaze, aka LA Comic Con, or whatever they changed the name to, Stan Lee's Comic Con. And now that our parking structure has all been redone, it's now moving back there, and then we'll have Designer Con for the first year back, or actually for the first time ever in Anaheim this year. So it's like people are coming to OC, okay? So you better watch out.
I wanted to go. I haven't been to a convention in Anaheim or in that area yet.
It's really cool. It's really cool because Disneyland's right across from it, so people get to hit both things. So it's worth the drive.
Because I think they had SIGGRAPH there one year in Anaheim too.
Yeah.
So I would love to go back and try it there. It's a different experience in the LA Convention Center. So yeah. Awesome. Speaking of which, how many cons do you guys normally go to in a year? Are you a big con person?
You know what? I was, and now that I'm getting old, I'm getting crotchety, and I'm just like, there's people touching my elbow, and I'm like, children are everywhere. So,
and the
kids,
smell.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Let's talk about that for 1 second. I don't want to go.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to go too far because it's not going to make sense unless we talk about it right now. Let's talk about those people that go into the grocery store and then just stop at the door and look to see which way they want to go. Do you not understand that there's 100 people trying to get into the grocery store too?
Is that the same person that pulls up to McDonald's, which has been around forever, and doesn't know what they want to order? Like, why do we even go to McDonald's? Why is there a question? I get the 2 cheeseburgers every time I go.
Every time.
Okay, anywho, just saying, I'm getting to the point where I get claustrophobic, but on average, you got San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon, Stanley's Comic-Con, Pasadena has Designer Con, we got CTN, we've got, I know I'm missing some that somebody's going to throw up there, but
Ground Zero?
No, there's Ground Zero Expo. But I gotta give a shout out to my boy Pete Molini, who has Nostalgic Comics in I always forget San Gabriel, and he puts on the new East LA Comic Con, which I was a part of last year. That is coming up, and it is awesome. It is off the hook. It is tiny, just like my show, where like it packs a punch in just this tiny, rad little building. I wish he was on so he could explain it. But anyway, the point is, East LA Comic Con, write it down because it's coming up.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because you know what? There was nothing in the hood, and that's what he wanted to get back to. And I'm not even joking. I did more sales and made more contacts with the most genuine, nice people than going to WonderCon and having Felicia Day buy from me. And then Felicia Day posted that my art was the best thing she ever bought, right? But then forgot to say who I was and didn't shout me out.
Dope.
On YouTube. She said, if you don't have enough blank, you need one of these, and then showed my art and then did nothing. And I was like, serious? We're at East LA Comic Con. They're like, can we get a selfie? Can we do that? Oh, they were so happy to have their own show.
Awesome.
So that's a shout out to my boy for East LA Comic Con.
Nice.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all right. So there's like 10 cons. If I'm missing any, I'm sure. But now people are making them up. So it's like, now there's all these like, the public library's putting on their own Comic-Con.
Yeah. We're going to have to, like, show notes this week are going to be crazy in terms of, we got to give them dates for all those ones you just said. So just.
Yeah. So East LA Comic-Con, if you go to eastlacomiccon.com, it is May 20th at El Gallo Plaza.
Oh,
East
it's so
Cesar Chavez Avenue.
Nice.
Can I just tell you, it's in an old like mortuary, like where they actually did all like the mortuary stuff, and it is all original. Like the beams are so old, and it's so awesome. And they do a Dia de los Muertos show there every year. So he just asked to rent that out, and it's small, but he said we had to have a line wrap around the block, and they could only let so many people in, and people stayed. Like they didn't get mad. But I'm telling you, it was like cattle just coming through. It was crazy.
That's awesome. They're like lined up outside. That's great.
Yeah. That's a good feeling. You're like, yes, right. Make a line.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, thank you.
What would make someone want to start a Comic-Con or an expo? Why?
Why? Oh gosh, why? One, I'm asking myself why. Two, I've been to other conventions. I've been a vendor and I've been an attendee. And I feel like there was kind of just a place where people weren't like, vendors are too afraid to tell the person in charge what's going on. The person in charge doesn't know if they're doing the right or wrong thing. And then words get spoken, and then there's this whole fight, right? So for me, I was like, if I make everybody happy, no one can be mad, and we'll have an event that's epic. So I started off with just like small shows, like craft shows in my backyard. And then I went to doing craft shows in a bigger group. And then I opened a store and started having shows there. And I was like, well, I've already done all this. Why not just take it to the next level and make like a mini expo? I don't want people thinking it's CTN level, like, or a WonderCon. It's just enough to spend almost all your day there and get everything done and meet new people. So for me, that's why I wanted to do an expo. I wanted to do it a way where you're still going to get people upset no matter what you do. Someone's not going to know the work that goes into it. And so they're just going to be like, there wasn't vegan food. And I'm all, oh no. But that's why I wanted to come on and be a voice for Ground Zero, because I'm like, I don't think people realize it's me. Like, I'm doing all the decision making. So I need feedback. But I just wanted to like an expo where people can come and network, and it's for all positive, good things. So that's what made me want to do it, is when I went to other things, it felt crowded. It felt like I didn't get to see my heroes. It felt like I was spending all this money, and at the end of the day, I'm like I didn't even get it signed, and I didn't get to do this. And that's great for those expos to do that phenomenal. But it also needs to be more intimate and one-on-one, to where I can walk up to somebody and feel like I'm not taking the time away from the line, like the lady in the grocery store, you know, or the man, whoever you were speaking about. You get the people that just don't get it.
Yeah, that's a weird feeling to be at a con and you know the artists, and you like stop at their booth and you feel the fans behind you like, get out the way and let me talk to my
and when you're, by the way, if we're going to talk about this, and I'm a truth teller, truth be told, that I am one of those people where when I know you, you got to take the hint. Like, I'm here to sell. It cost me a lot of money for this booth, and I need to meet new people. You already know about me, and that's rad, and we can hang out like any other time. But right now, this is business, and friends got to go a little bit to the. It's cool to walk up to someone and be like, dude, I see you. You're rocking it. Check you later. Or if there's no line, you kind of do it.
You gotta do the pass. Because of perfecting the pass, like you get the eye contact. Yeah, I'll be back later. Whatever. We keep moving.
Right.
But then you get the fans that are just like, you're gonna talk to me for half an hour. Yeah. And I see the rookie ones, right? The rookies that don't know it's their first con and they're like selling stuff. And they're giving them all their attention. I'm like, you gotta cut that off. You gotta keep it moving. And
it's hard because you want to be like thankful they came to see you. Yeah, but I always do like, oh, you want to look at the stuff? Go ahead. I know them. Okay, yeah. So anyway, okay, yeah. Oh, you want to see stuff? Okay, bye. And then I like work my way out. But people like Patrick Ballesteros, that boy has been in my life for a long time. The guy's killing it. His line now, they have to hold signs in line to say I'm in Patrick Ballesteros' line. And I remember like he always had a line, but not like that. And every time I just make sure I throw an arm up and I go, hey, Pat, and then I keep walking. And that's it. That is called etiquette for people that don't know how to talk to people at conventions. Now, if you're taking a lot of their time and you start to see their eyes glazing over, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah. If you're meeting your hero or meeting somebody cool, look at their work, small talk, not talk, small talk, and keep it moving. It's hard. It's hard when you finally get to meet that artist you like, but especially if you don't know them, they got to talk to everybody.
This is true.
And what's funny is people just geek out and they don't realize that, like, it would be cool to sit down and talk to this person for 45 minutes, but they got bills to pay.
That's right.
I have this thing about myself where I always feel like I'm in the way. So if I see someone that I've been always wanting to meet, like I went to CTN and I saw Jake Parker and a few other people, and I was just like, yo, what's up? You were on the show. And he was just like, so you gonna buy a book? And I don't I don't blame him, because I mean that's his livelihood.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just like, I'll be like, yo, what's up? We'll catch up later, make time for me.
Sign language.
Yeah. But if you have my number or my email and you can reach out and ask me to lunch.
I started choking. I'm sorry because too much. Can you make some time for me?
maybe it's a what is that?
Okay, sorry. I started choking.
One of those sand clocks. What is that? The hourglass.
Yo, that was great. I'm so sorry.
It just was not my idea of time, but that's fine. I'm crying over here. Okay.
There goes the sign language.
The Noelle girl, she follows me, and she knows that she knows that I geeked out.
Right, Noelle.
I know. She knows that I geeked out over Michael of Tweedlebop.
Ah.
You know Michael Fleming? Just curious.
I Michael Fleming. Yeah.
I know Tweedlebop.
Yeah. But like that's me. Like I got all like because I didn't know he followed me and then he jumped on when I was live, and I was like, oh my god, do you guys know who's on here? Like
that's awesome.
But there's a way to see somebody like at a show and get that excitement and show them. But like Kirk Thatcher, who worked on Star Wars and has done tons and tons of work for Jim Henson. He walked into my booth after we were already friends on Facebook, and I didn't know what to say, and I kept giggling and like blushing, and I couldn't stop, and you could just vibe him. He was like, cool, I'll see you later. And I was like, okay. And then he came back last year to DesignerCon, stopped by my booth, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm all together now. So have your stuff together when you walk up so you don't sound like a total bumbling idiot. But yeah.
That'd be like crazy. I'm trying to think of who it would be like. That'd be like if I like met like the guys like Carlos from like Creature Box, you know? Like,
ooh, Creature Box,
like,
yes.
But they're like triple threats because they're in the game industry and stuff too. So I know they work to do development like I do every day. But then they go home and just be their ass illustrators also.
Oh, for sure. Anyway, we went on a tangent there, but the point is,
it's good.
Learn how to approach somebody at their booth. That's all.
Good.
And don't be. This is one of the things that I see, and I'm just like, ooh. Don't try to know more about the artist than the artist themselves know, right? Oh, you remember July 2002 you had a cheese sandwich? Like, okay, that's a little too much.
Isn't that SNL skit with Chris what's his name? Come on, help me out. Chris Farley was like, remember that time? Remember that? Okay. Yeah. No, but that's for sure.
It was the summer of 96.
Remember.
So now we know that that you're just a little bit off center enough to start your own expo.
I'm a little off center, you know, like I'm just I'm a little off center.
Like right now, people that do sign language, they're like, what are they saying about time? Like,
oh, very good.
Nice.
Okay. Way to drop that you know some sign language.
Yeah, Noelle says check your stalker at the door. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It is.
So one thing that I found interesting was that you are originally from Northern California.
NorCal.
What?
Okay.
A little area just north of where I am right now.
Yes. Just a little.
What was that like? What was it like growing up in the middle of nowhere with no cable and you had to go potty outside?
We're in Dream Zone, Eva, now. No, honestly, okay, so you're now in NorCal, so you kind of get it, but like Sonoma and Santa Rosa and all those areas, that was like my city. And then I was 2 hours away from that. So imagine needing to get McDonald's at like 5 o'clock and you have to drive 45 minutes to go to a McDonald's. Oh. So we had one McDonald's, one Taco Bell, and one Burger King, which we called Hamburger Hill. So like there's nothing to do. However, it worked in my favor because it got me to use my imagination, which I'm not saying kids don't do it anymore, but like there was no phones, there was none of that, right? So I had to sit there and make fun. And I just remember watching Kindergarten Cop, and I like pretended to be a police officer for like a month and like made a fort where it was my office. And yeah, there's things like that I would do. So it made me, which is great. No.
Ooh, sorry about that. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, so you think you're cool. Okay, well, let's take that back. But no. So being on a quote unquote farmland area was great, but also when you get older, between 16 and 18, I felt like I was missing out on everything because we didn't really have cable. Kind of cable. We had like VH1. What? Oh, and no Disney Channel though. That was too expensive. And then our interwebs would do the dial-up thing, and like all my friends had faster internet speed. That sucked. And then pagers were still in. I had the mini Apollo pager that was like,
what color?
It was with the little crab on it. You know what I'm talking about. I was super cool because it had the case and a little chain to like hook it to my pants. Right. I just aged myself, folks. Okay, and then
hello and like
yeah. How do you say like I love you? 1, 2, 3. Okay, or whatever it was. 1, 3, 4. I don't remember. So yeah. Anyway, but I worked from 14 to 18 years old. I started a job. Like I worked on top of going to school, and then I was doing dance and cheerleading for 1 year. I did cheerleading. That was the worst. And then I did. There was no art class. There was no. We had like pottery, but then like the lady didn't know how to teach pottery, so there was really nothing to engage us in art, which is why I'm so behind and wanted to learn about animation ever since I was little. And thank you to a man who I hope is still alive and I would like to meet because he shaped my childhood. Was now I'm blanking on his name. Why? He comes out with like books and tutorials on how to do cartooning. Bruce Blitz.
Ooh.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay. If it wasn't for him, I would play his VHS on repeat. Like I had my little easel and I would sit and I'd draw the characters over and over. And then I bought his little, they were like animation cell kind of things where he'd draw different noses on all of them. And you would move your paper, tracing paper, and you'd learn to draw like hundreds of characters just by changing one thing on them. So that got me to like think outside the box. And after repetition, I taught myself how to do all the cartooning I did after. So other than that, and like animal books to learn from our school library, where you're like, is there anything else on animation? Like we didn't even have any of the Preston Blair books or anything cool. So yeah, I've got one like right there because I was like, as a kid, that's all I wanted was Preston Blair books. So yeah, Bruce Blitz was like my man, and he has no idea that like he created this who I am. And some guy on PBS that used to do cartoons. I don't remember.
Kistler. That's with me. Mark Kistler.
Yes, Mark.
Draw. That was mine. Yeah. Yes. Let's talk about that. Oh my gosh. I love it. I don't know if it's because I was in Indiana and I didn't have nothing else to do either, but PBS was the best.
Yeah.
Introducing to like Doctor Who and all the other old school Salty Towers and stuff. Mark Kistler every day.
Mark, thank you. Is he still alive?
I think he is, and he's still.
If you go to markkistler.com, he's there.
Yeah. Can you check Bruce Blitz? Check Bruce Blitz for me. BLITZ.
Yo, I kind of want Mark Kistler on the show now.
How about we get Mark and Bruce and just relive our childhood together?
I didn't even pick two for the show. That's Carlos and Jack's thing, but Mark Kistler, I'll have a little bit of a conniption because that dude, like the first guy I can remember where I'm like, I had a pad and I had my parents had instructions when I used to have babysitters on what they need to do. At 3 o'clock, I don't care what you do, but he needs to be in front of that TV with his pad so he can watch this show for an hour.
That's adorable. I thought nobody would get me talking about this.
No.
Bruce Blitz has a YouTube channel.
Yo.
You guys follow Bruce Blitz. Like, he makes me so happy. I still picture him like how Tim Allen like still wears the dad pants and like Seinfeld, right? With like the sneakers. Yeah. Like, and like the button-up shirt that's tucked into that really high-waisted pants. Like, I picture Bruce as like my dad I didn't have. Like, I need him in my life.
He won is that an Oscar? Marcus or something? That's crazy. He's got white. I'm feeling old right now.
Okay, well, I know. Well, we just got very excited. Okay, so
where'd your black hair go, dude?
No.
No, but I still think that, and you know, those guys, they just had something like that back in the 90s. Like, it was like really cool drawings, but you're like, oh, I don't even know how I would ever draw that. But like, he would take you step by step. He had that really cool marker board where you know, the black and white stuff, and then you'd finish and you'd feel so, what's the word I'm looking for? Proud.
Defeated? Oh.
No, proud. No, it wasn't. Like, his stuff was so easy. Like, it wouldn't look, your stuff wouldn't look quite like it, but you can, like, something you can go through for the rest of the day and get better at, right? Like, he had you drawing full characters. Like,
Facebook.com/Bruce Blitz cartooning.
Yay! Oh my gosh, posties. Okay, so the other thing is, like, I feel like Mark had the space, like, it looked like he was in outer space around the room or something. Yeah. And he'd be at his table and he'd be like, oh, hello there. How are you doing? And I will never forget the episode I love so much was he took kind of like what Steven Silver does is he would take different things and mash them together, like a running can. And I'll never forget this, like, running like can of beans.
I remember that one.
Yes, and I drew
a little foreshortened circle. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. We just had a moment and everyone had to live it. So thank you.
Carlos, go back and look at, I don't know, did you watch him? Carlos,
I did.
I feel like you would love him, especially with
No. I do.
Yeah, I do. I feel like
he's right there. Right now. I do.
You know what the best part about it too was
you guys are getting juicy, and I like it.
He showed you how to do things other than just characters. Like, maybe that's why, because I ended up doing environments and stuff like that, especially. But like, I used to love all the environmental stuff. Like, it started off with something simple as like a foreshortened circle, or you have to do a foreshortened box, and you have to put your thumb on the screen, and 4 dots, and then connect the dots. And then when you were done, it'd be this crazy elaborate, like, really like Dr. Seuss style, like, building in perspective and hard perspective. He was talking about 1-point perspective and like 2-point perspective, but he's doing it to like little kids. Like, I think I was like 6 or 7 or 8. Oh gosh. Anyway, like, it's like weird. Like, I don't know how he's like one of those master teachers type thing. I don't know.
It's crazy that he was on VH1.
What?
Just kidding.
I know.
Okay. I was all hold up. We just brought up VH1.
It's good. He was like, you don't get PBS where you are.
No,
you don't get Barney.
I'm gonna give you that one. That was funny though. I got you there.
Yeah. I watched Live Thompson on Barney, and then So
PBS.
So yeah. Anyway, that was my life, and that was the fun. And then I loved animals, so I wanted to be like a vet tech or something. And then I moved to Santa Rosa, Petaluma area when I was 18, and that was short-lived. I ended up back home, and then was like, well, there's no point in living here because there's no offense to all my friends that live there and my family, but there's nothing here. And like, it was boring. And this was before, of course, Instagram. I mean, I feel like a lot of people live in like kind of deserted areas, but the fact that there's Instagram, they can do more. Like, they feel like, at least for me, when I'm in my room, I feel like I kind of move on to a different place. Like, I'm with all these people in this random room and we're all chit-chatting. And so anyway, and then I moved to San Fernando Valley when I was, end of 18, almost 19 years old. And I've been here ever since. So,
nice.
Yeah. So that's my upbringing. It was boring, but yet it shaped me into who I am and keeps me constantly thinking about new stuff. So,
how supportive were? Oh, real quick. Hello, Mrs. Eva's mom. Hi. I don't know if she's watching or not. I told you I was going to give her a quick little shout out. So hello.
Mommy.
What's up, moms?
Sorry, you still live there.
How were your parents, and were they supportive when you decided to leave, or?
So my dad and I, you know, typical life, right? I'm a teenager and I'm rebelling, even though I'm like a really nice kid. I've always been a total hippie kid. Like I don't want to stay at home. I just want to be free. I want to go do my thing. Hence why I also have never wanted children. And I'm getting closer to 40 than I am to 30, if you know what I mean. So, so at this point, I basically told my mom, who I lived more so with, and I just said, you know, I want to move. But she always thought I was a ham, which I'm sure you don't pick up on that at all. And I'm more of a turkey. And
hey,
I see what
was that even a hail? I don't even know. And then I was always in like acting groups. I was one of the youngest actors in like adult acting group, and then always in dance ever since like 5th grade. So my mom kind of like wanted me to go to LA because you know your mom, oh, you're gonna be big one day, you're just gonna be big. And I'm like, yeah, you realize that when I moved to LA, like the dancers like danced right over me and they're like, you better move. And I did like one audition for a commercial and one audition for dance, and I was like, that's not for me, that's not what I want to do. So I didn't even think about art, to be honest. I just kind of put art on the back burner. I've never loved art. I just now started loving doing my art because I'm feeling more confident. And as a kid, I thought I was going to be a dancer and actress. And after I saw Now and Then with Christina Ricci and, you know, I can't remember all the people, Demi Moore, all those, I was like, that's me. I'm going to be an actress. Those are the kind of movies I'm going to do. But then you get a reality check when you move to the city. And then by about, I think 20 years old, I was working at an after school program, and they're like, what other things can you do besides, you know, teaching homework or whatever? I was like, well, I do dance, I do cartoons, and I do that. And they're like, can you teach a cartooning class and a dance class? So I kind of got back into art just because I was teaching kids, and I was using the Bruce Blitz method of the whole tracing thing. And I got those kids at 5 years old drawing like they were tricking people. They're like, what 5th grader did this? I'm all, no, that's my 5-year-old in my class. And they couldn't like figure it out, but it wasn't me. It was just a method I had learned, just reteaching it. And I got a few kids really into art that are still doing art to this day. Like I follow their Instagram, which is pretty cool that they're doing it. But anyway, so there's that. And then somebody found out I face painted a couple times when I was 16 years old for Cinco de Mayo in my hometown. And again, such a small hometown that they're like, Eva likes to draw. What about that old Eva Anderson, you know, when I was a kid? And it just, it wasn't something I thought I was going to end up doing. And then I turned it into my profession. So now I'm a professional face painter working for like 3 entertainment companies and myself. And that's my main income. And then I'm able to do my art on top of it. So like my family always knew I was going to go do something creative. And it wasn't, when I tell you a small town, like that is no joke. You either have kids at a very young age, get put in jail, do drugs, or become a total nerd like me, and you can't stay there. So I just could never move back because there's literally a Kmart to work at or a Walmart. That's pretty much the extent of life. So anyway, yeah. But they're still supportive. My dad actually just called me on Monday, and I told him everything I was up to, and he goes, you need to take it easy. So, you know, I don't think he sounded like that. He doesn't sound like that, but you know, he was just reminding me that life goes by fast and, you know, enjoy it. Don't overload. But I get antsy if I'm not doing something. Like I literally just thought I need to have a gallery again. And I have to like remind myself that the last one, it's tough. It's hard to run a gallery. So I'm just like, no, wait. But then I called, actually Steph Rizzo just wrote that Janet's watching. I just promoted Janet's Instagram. She goes by Pueblo de Janet, and she's one of our up and coming vendors.
Nice, shout out.
But you know, like that's what I want to do. I feel like my life is art management and getting people to notice the ones without a voice, because I will talk all day. but they're more like, oh, that's okay. People don't like, Stephanie was the same way. And you follow Steph. We had a whole fangirl moment as we started with you. And Stephanie is one of those like, I'm nobody. It's fine. I'm like, get out there, you crazy.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, every time her art shows up on my iPhone, it glows and it starts floating. I'm like,
yeah. Well, FYI, if you love Steph, Janet is one of her best friends, and Janet's work is so beautiful that it frustrates me because I know there's so much talent out there that I don't even know, but I also know these people and their hearts, and they are such hardworking people. And Janet's too nervous to go live, but I know Steph is cool to talk, and I know Chris is probably asking, hey, can I go on now? So I didn't know if we wanted to move into them real quick. I didn't know how you want to do it, but
we can eventually. Right now I got stuff looking at
Eva and Julie?
Yeah, we could take a look at Eva's work.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was saying. Cool, I was playing on the word eventually. Eva and Julie.
Oh,
I don't care about me.
Should be here all week.
Yeah.
No, actually,
I can stay up late, guys. I can stay up all night.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
We're talkers here.
Yeah, we get people to be like, you guys are still going? Yeah.
No.
One of those.
Yeah, I actually once I started following you on all the socials and I started watching your Instagram streams. I was like, man, you're a hustler.
It's weird though, because I'm just being me and everyone's like, what are you doing? And I'm all, I don't have as many followers as you do. I genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like there's this understanding, like, again, Noelle is probably a huge, I don't want to call her a fan. I hate the word follower. I wish Instagram didn't call them followers. I do like that Facebook calls it friends, because it makes me feel like they're sheep and they're just following me, and that bothers me. So I try to make a connection and a relationship with anyone that's following my art. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is embarrassing. Okay.
Like that.
Here we go.
That's what we do. We embarrass people.
Oh, you can actually show it while I'm talking. That's cray.
Girl, who are you with?
Oh my gosh. These interwebs is too advanced for me.
Okay. That'll be even bigger on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Thanks. Hey, Twitch, I need a following here. Okay. No. So that's kind of my thing, is like, I think that when you create art in front of your audience, it makes them connect to you and it makes them fall in love with the art. If you just post your artwork done, or somebody buys a commission and you just ship it to them, they have no idea what went into it. And here I can like tell them what I'm doing. I can say like, whoops, I just messed up there, but let's do this. And then there was one time Noelle was on, and Noelle and I have never met in person, but I connect with her daughter, like through just knowing stories about her daughter. I think her daughter is a lot like me. And so we have this little twin thing that we always joke about. But this one time I was painting Noelle's commission of a Harry Potter, of the pets, if you will. And I started painting the cat, but where I put the tail, it looked like something was coming out of the butt. Like, it was really weird. And Noelle straight up was like, because I know her personality through live streams and stuff and things she writes and how we joke. And I don't take anything seriously ever. Like, I don't care. And she was like, Eva, I think the tail looks like, this is coming out of the butt. And I was like, I had the same thought, but I didn't want to say it live. So now she has that painting, and I changed the tail the way it was going. But it gave this moment to where she can always remember that conversation when she looks at that painting. And you're not going to get that when you just ship something and don't tell anybody what went into it. So doing my live streaming and connecting with people, one, I'm becoming like Wall-E. I'm like, or a Wall-E world where I'm just like hiding in my room, and I'm like, I feel like I'm out there, but you're really just stuck in your room. But I'm also like creating memories, and I've met a few of these people. Now they come to my shows, or I'm actually picking up like a pen pal, if you will, an art pal. Mary Evelyn Studios is what she goes by. She does dog portraits. And we've become friends, and I watch her live stream. She watches mine. Her personality is just like me, except for she got twang. So she's got like Southern Belle thing going on. And she's flying out to Temecula in April and needs a ride from LAX and to stay the night. And I said, "Are you a serial killer?" And she's like, "No, are you?" And I go, "No, but that's what serial killers say." Yeah. And then, and like, we're going to have like a spend the night live stream. And like, that would never happen if it wasn't for Instagram Live. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm just really big on pushing my friends that are artists to go live. I'm like, you don't have to show your face, just show your painting. You don't even have to talk. Just put a note that says, you know, like, I don't do well talking when I'm painting. That was a fun one. I just worked for Care Bears. That was really cool. And got to paint on a John, you know who I'm talking about, Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah.
The singer. That was his daughter's grandson and daughter. But anyway, face painting gets you in interesting situations. I've painted on Christina Aguilera, one of the guys from Facebook who owns it. Yeah, it's funny. So I push all my friends to go live so that people can learn who they are and who they're buying from. And this picture right here, just FYI, that was the Rose Bowl. I never did it before. I was offered a spot behind the guy with the booth, and I sold so much stuff, and I ended up getting a following at the Rose Bowl swap meet. Like, the people are awesome. Wow. So also as artists, I'm like, take a chance. If you're not going to put your stuff out there, no one's going to see you. So you know, people are wondering how I'm hustling and how I'm doing it. Actually, it's addicting because I enjoy these conversations that happen in my live stream, and they've all become friends. And I'm not going to lie, they all started a Critterosity group on Facebook where they all chat. It's not all about me or anything. It's just, they're just called, I don't remember. Noelle will tell you what they named the group. It's like Eva's Critters, I think. and they've become friends. Like, it's so cool. And everyone's positive because remember back in the day, people were like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Everybody was a troll, right? They just wanted to say nasty things in chat rooms just to get a rise. Nowadays, if they don't want to watch something, they just tune out, or they'll start following you and then they unfollow. Nobody's like leaving negative messages anymore. So I really, as when everybody jumped the Instagram ship and went to that Vero or whatever, I did too. I was like, hey, I want to own the account that's Critterosity. I don't want someone else to get it. I did one day and I was like nauseous. I went too many social media sites. I am so happy with Instagram. I understand their algorithm. I don't like it, but they're doing it so you have to pay for ads. That's the whole point. Right. They have to make money. A business is making money. So they change the algorithm. So in order to see things, you have to kind of pay or use your story to constantly be noticed. So no, I love marketing.
And I think one of the other things that they're doing is just like Twitter keeps getting in trouble for having a lot of bots, and the bots go around and, you know, follow and share and all that stuff. You know how difficult it would be to have an account on Instagram and be a bot if they're forcing you to use the live stuff.
Well, yeah, because then you can't buy followers. You can't like the follower farm.
I get it, and the way I see it is, if I'm drawing and I'm putting work out there and it's not getting noticed, then I have to work harder at getting better.
Yeah,
it's not my fault because I don't think that there's a lot of the really popular, like the Jake Parkers. I don't think that Jake Parker had to rig the system to get however many tens of thousands of followers. He just draws very well.
Okay, so exactly that. One, first of all, how do you live with yourself if you buy followers? I just think it's dumb. And those followers are bought, which means they're not necessarily into what you're doing and they're not going to buy your artwork. So it's really a dumb thing. Two, I love a challenge. I'm like, my goal, and anyone that follows me knows, my goal this year is to reach 10,000 followers. And what I do is every 100 followers, I do a giveaway. But I do not hashtag the word giveaway because I only want the people that truly follow me to know I'm having a giveaway.
Right.
So I'm getting true followers that go, hey, so-and-so, you should follow Eva. She does giveaways. And it's like, yeah, maybe they're just coming for the giveaway. That's okay. But the odds of them seeing it, and then I also do like a positive message with them, like tag somebody that makes you really happy, right? And that person can already be following me. I'm not even going to get a follower, but I want them to do something fun with it and good. And then lately, I'm teaming up with other artists that need help, or other artists that maybe don't need help, but they're going to maybe help me. And we're friends, so they know, like and Sprout, we just did our giveaway. and Sprout is huge. Her following is phenomenal, and they love her, and she makes the raddest stuff. But she was like, Eva, I've been watching you forever. I love your stuff. You love my stuff. We both support each other. I'll happily do a giveaway with you. And the second she posted, I got like 200 new followers from her. It's just, that's networking. That's marketing and networking. And if there's a day she needs something from me, I'll happily just shoot a print to her or whatever she needs. She knows that I'm there for her.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so this, like the 6,000 giveaway, I have 3 companies all coming together, or artists. Monahan Art, phenomenal. Oh my God. He is so underrated. It's ridiculous. Like, his following is, I laugh because there's no way he can have as little following as he does. He's so good. So I have him joining me. I have Artistic Flavors, who's put out my Harry Potter pins. They produce them and do everything for me and sell them at shows. I'm working on 3 new pins for them. That's one of the designs that I did for the pins. And then I have, I just totally blanked. I know my third person. Oh my God, they're going to hate me because I didn't give them a shout out. Oh God. Oh, Janet. It's Janet. Pueblo to Janet. There we go. So sorry, Janet. I know you're watching live, it said. So those 3 people and myself are doing this massive giveaway. And then not just one person wins. I try to do a level, like 3 people get kind of like the fun prizes, something small. And then I give the big, huge basket of prizes to whoever it is that wins. But I do it every 100 followers to say, like, dude, I love that you guys are following. And they're so nice. Like, I can't even talk about how cool the people are. And then fan art is a scary thing. I think a lot of people hate the word. So I'm trying to stylize things to be very cutesy. And, you know, a lot of people are doing the cutesy route. But I kind of show who I am and what I would buy when I do my art. And some people are like, you know, what happens if someone doesn't like it? I'm like, well, I don't care because I like it. Why would I do my art if I didn't like it? Like, I'm not trying to appease someone else. I'm just trying to make something the way it is. And so I did Dapper Day last year for the first time with my friend Kelsworth Inc. And it killed it. I mean, I had no idea there was this massive following for Dapper Day at Disneyland. And I started selling like crazy. And that's when the Disney art started coming into my life, which is always a scary route because you're like, I don't want to do Disney stuff because they're going to get mad. But then I have friends that go, I got picked out to do Wonderground because I'm doing Disney art. So it's this weird,
that's cool,
fine line thing.
I'm trying to remember. I think the guy's name was Jared.
Oh yeah, Jared. I know. I just had this.
Moriyama or something.
Yeah, it's an M.
He drew some. What's that?
The hipster Mickey or the little characters.
Yeah.
Hipster Mickey. Yeah, I've seen those.
So he did that, and then like Disney liked it so much that I think they contracted him to do more.
Yeah, he works for Disney now, and they sell. So if you get picked up by Disney, we just talked about this at work.
Jared Mariyama. I can't say it.
Yeah.
They sell his prints. They sell. There's other Disney also has other gallery stores where they'll sell his actual like stuff like as a nice print you could buy or stuff on T-shirts. He does. He's got a lot of the like hipster Mickey and hipster Minnie and like they're really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and look, it's working for him and it's great. Me, like I said, I walk the line of I can do fan art, but it's going to be in my style, and it is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't get a refund because you should be watching me long enough. You know what I do.
You should be buying my stuff anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, that's sorry to go on a tangent. Everyone that follows knows I'm very, very strict about how fan art's done. These people are doing direct copies of the characters and creating enamel pins. it's really a scary thing to do. And that's why I'm trying to keep it very stylized. However, doing Dapper Day, they encourage it at Disneyland. I had somebody walk by and from Disney, like wearing the Disney like official thing. And I'm like, sorry, I've got fan art of Disney. And he's like, no, it's great. Good job. And I'm like, what's right and what's wrong? I don't know anymore. So
just keep doing it until that you get cease and desist.
We talked about that on the show too before, like when it was probably around convention season last year, right? Carlos, you and Jack have had the conversation about fan art to other. I think maybe Mike Henry was on the show. At conventions, at comic book conventions, it's the same thing with comic book art and stuff like that. People doing renditions of Marvel stuff and selling big, huge posters. You know, sometimes when they're really good, it's like you can't tell if they actually work there or they're just doing fan art. So even the bigger artists like blur the line. Like you're big enough to be like selling your own stuff, but they still do fan art because it's the draw.
I've had friends be sued and then they win. And then the company comes back and goes, okay, can I just buy all that from you? And we'll just pay you off. And, you know, like for Star Wars stuff he was doing, it was completely his own. Like it just looked like the characters, but it was totally his own style. And he had such a good lawyer that when they went up against, you know, them, they were like, okay, so can we just buy it off you then? And he was like, no, I want to keep making money on it and it be mine. And I was like, dude, I bow down to you. That's awesome. So again, it's wishy-washy. So I throw in my own original characters here and there, my own paintings, just to remind people like I'm not just a copier. Like I can actually do my own characters. I might not be the best artist in the world, but you know, I just do what makes me happy. That's all I'm painting. So whatevs. Deleted. Okay.
One of the other things about fan art is there's sometimes that you just don't know what to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just take a look. And as a matter of fact, just this afternoon, I was watching. I just forgot on Instagram. I have it posted on Instagram, but I was watching this guy's process videos, and he's drawing. He draws these pinup girls, and so I was drawing along with them, and there you have it. Like, it's just a different exercise.
I also think you take skills from that, what you're learning, and you apply them in different ways in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like Toonbox Studios. I don't know if you've ever.
That's the one. That's the one that I was watching. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in love with his stuff, and I learned how to use my Cintiq because of him. Because no one had Sketchbook Pro things up to learn, like tutorials. And I started drawing very similar to those girls because I was learning off of him. And I don't know about you, but I'm like a chameleon. I kind of just take on what I'm learning. So, yeah, I think it's a way for us to grow. We dabble in different types of art and then we apply it.
Exactly. And that's how for those young artists that are always wanting to find their own style and they're stressing out and they're forcing the issue with finding their style, just relax. Like draw as much as you can. All that stuff comes naturally.
Yeah. I don't feel like I have a style. It's kind of like when I wake up in the morning, I don't even know what to wear. Am I going to wear my red cowboy boots with like, you know, a pair of shorts, or am I going to wear like a sports t-shirt because I'm into that sport, you know, whatever. I don't have a style. It's the same with my art. Is people say they recognize it, but I kind of am all over the board. I just do what I'm feeling. Yeah, yeah.
Me too. So this is what I did this afternoon.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, Toonbox. I swear to you, I had no idea it was Toonbox you were talking about, but that's what I think when I think pinup.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the way that he draws women, and I'll watch his videos and I'll just continue to try to get that in my drawing dictionary.
Yeah, for sure. But
so I wanted to talk real quick about, well, first off, Noelle, I'm gonna try to follow you, so if Coconut Justice pops up on your Instagram, I'm gonna follow you. So there. Things happen live around here. Right. But I wanted to talk about, you know, you said something really powerful not too long ago. You said that you might not be the greatest artist in the world, but that's not going to keep you from from creating and from making art, and even from streaming, because that's a big step too. Talk us through that journey in your head where you're like, I love drawing. I don't, and I've heard you say this a couple times, I don't necessarily want to work for any of the big studios. Process that for us.
So me, I enjoy the freelancing. For some people that's terrifying and they want a job and they want a paycheck, but working in the studios, and again, I run Ground Zero, so I don't want to discourage anybody. It's just that studio is contract work most of the time, almost 100% of the time, and they're constantly in and out of jobs. And to me, that is more stressful of and also the depression of like, why didn't they keep me for the next project? Was I not good enough? And so I feel like I'd rather not punch a clock or check in somewhere or get in my car to drive somewhere. I'd rather just know I can wake up, roll out of bed when I want, try to be productive, and then work on whatever I feel like. Because when you're working in a studio, you're doing someone else's project. You have to do it a certain way. And it goes back to college where like I'm talking to my friends in college going, yeah, I got a bad grade on this piece of art. I'm like, hold on, art is subjective. How are we doing grades in art? Like, it blows my mind that it's not good enough or whatever. Now, I also know the reason we prep people is because there's different levels of what the studios are looking for. But then I know people that have been working in the studio so long, they go, I wish I was like you, Eva. I wish I never took a studio job because I lost who I was as an artist. I'm like a robot now. Again, not saying that that's a bad thing because they're making a great paycheck. They're working for Disney and Nickelodeon and all these great places. But for me personally, I just go, one, I can't sit in a chair that long. I mean, like you guys see me, I'm doing this stuff. But like, I can't sit in a chair.
I'm sitting on a ball because it gets me moving.
Because it gets you moving. That blood flowing. But yeah, I know that I can pick up my phone and go, I feel like live streaming. I feel like talking to people. And then I'm painting. Now, granted, it took a long time for me to even get the following I have, which when I follow people like Steph, I'm like, this is nothing in comparison. But the people I have are the most dedicated, loving people on Instagram that genuinely like love my art. When I put an auction up, I don't even care if it gets exactly what I asked for in an auction. It's the fact that somebody wants to pay $15 for my art or $20 for my art. And it makes it like, one, a challenge. It makes me go, oh, I got to create something else. And two, it's a rush. It's this like, somebody is buying my art. They're not going, oh, you work at Disney. Cool. Super cool that you do that. What do you do? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a PA. Like, I'm not working on a show. And people go, oh, okay. And it's like, no, they're still valuable. They're totally, but since you're not an artist, all of a sudden the person's like, oh, so you just do that. And I feel like when somebody's investing in your art, it's more rewarding. That's just me. I've tried to push a lot of people in learning about freelance, which is why we do have a freelance panel always at Ground Zero, because we want to hear from people that are even working for the studios, but at home, or just picking up a project here and there for books. Doing illustration. But yeah, so that's my process is like, I'm not great. I don't want to go somewhere where they're telling me that's not good enough. Redraw it, redo it. Why did we hire you? You're out of here because you sucked at that last job. Now, granted, if somebody picked me up in animation that said, we love your characters, we want to make it a show, will you come and be an art director for it? Or will you do that? Well, that's a little different because then it puts me somewhere where I'm comfortable and I know what I'm doing. But if you tell me, here's the character, start drawing it over and over and over again, or, rendering it or whatever it's called nowadays in the studios, I just feel like that would be too much pressure. And granted, I live a life of like, I don't care what I eat. I don't care what I drink. I don't care what I'm doing. I just want to do my art and be like doing how I want. And again, that becomes the whole free spirit issue. Omni is, I've checked in, I've punched a clock from 14 years old to about 28 when I took on face painting full time. And I did caricatures as well. And now I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even go back to a job. Unless it was something I really enjoyed, or somebody said, we see your skill, we want to apply it in this place, right? So That's why art management is something I want to continue looking into, is helping my friends, building that in myself, and then going, not only do I do art shows, like plan art shows, not only do I do my own art, but now I get to pick set like 3 people out to try to get them going in the right direction. So, so Janet's been a great help for me because she's letting me kind of guide her. She already knows what she's doing. She just needs the little voice that goes, "You're good enough." Oh my God, don't let a studio job be the make or break. You are so good on your own. Now let's get you your own following to where people are just buying your art and you don't need to go to a job. So, so anyway, I don't know if I went off the path, but the point is,
you're perfect.
There you go. That's me. It's not for everybody. My ex was like, I need to know there's a job. I need to know that I check in. I need to know that when I check out, the job is left there and I can go to sleep and that's someone else's problem. Me, I'm like, I want to be the destiny. I want to, like, you know, I can't make it, the outcome be exactly what I want, but I can at least take the path to start it and just keep pushing forward. So no one's going to make it happen but you, right? We're all going to die. So what's your legend? Put it on a shirt.
What's your legend?
What's your legend?
We have
hashtag what's your legend? Write it down. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm just a firm believer in we have to kind of look at the overall thing of life. And if you're not going to speak up for your art, who's going to? So I want to be a voice for the ones that can't do that, but I can't get to everybody. So, you know.
And that's a big reason why we started this show too, is because the more artists that I meet, the more I realize that it's since everyone is introverted, most artists are introverted, you get this really weird feeling of I'm out here doing this by myself.
Yes. And you're
and you're not.
Mm-mm.
And there's things that happen. Like there's artists that are constantly getting ripped off, that are constantly doing work for exposure, constantly getting taken advantage of. And one of the big reasons why we did this is you're not out there alone. You don't have to. I've been through things that I can share, that I've shared on this show, to let people know if this happens, there are things that you can do to help remedy whatever hurdle you're trying to jump. You're not out here by your own. And so we harass people to come in here and talk about their skills and all that stuff. But what happens? Like you and I are kind of in the same boat where I love drawing too. Am I good enough to go work at a huge studio? I don't know. If they ask me, I'd be more than happy to go. But until that day comes, I'm going to continue to draw and continue to try to get better and try to do my own things and create my own projects. And here I am. All of a sudden, people are paying me to animate.
Yeah.
And all this time, I wanted to be an artist and an animator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
and that's, you're not alone. And the networking, that's where the networking comes in. And that's why, again, Ground Zero is super important. I tell people, I don't care if you're the shyest person in the world. My show is going to create automatic conversation. You're going to walk up to someone and they're going to feel just as awkward as you behind the table, and they're going to meet you and you're going to be like, I wanted to apply, but I didn't know. Oh, me too. I didn't want to do it either. And look, here I am. There's so many people like that. Oh, there's the Animation Network just popped on.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Speaking of networking.
I was going to work into that.
Chris.
Chris. I mean, he's like the bat again. He's one of the exactly. Don't get him started on Batman.
Do not get him. It was awesome. Yeah.
Do not get him started on Batman.
He's been here this whole time. He's like, Eva, stop talking about yourself. Let's talk. Yeah, no, I think Chris and I are in the same boat where we get really excited about sharing about the industry or the networking. Like, oh my God, the majority of jobs right now are just because you're networking and you're putting yourself out there, and all these people are sitting here so timid and scared, but you're right. And they're not alone. There's a million other people like them. I'm actually trying to introduce 2 artists that when I sit with each of them, I think of the other person, because I'm like, you're the exact same and your skill level is like identical. You're different artists, but you guys are so ready. And you're both like, but nobody's picked me up yet, and no studios wanted me. And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Make a children's book and make your own money.
Anyway, this is my life.
You're gonna be drawing anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to be drawing anyway. And like someone like Steph, like if Steph ever came out, and I say Steph like I know her. But
you know
if Stephanie were to come out with an art of book, I would be all over that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, you're going to be talking to her tonight, and there might be a little story with that one. So you're good there.
Nice.
Just saying.
Oh man, I was gonna play. I don't have any good. I was gonna play the "Yay, you win!" Ding, 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 ding. But there goes my.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to what Noelle said earlier. She said on chat, "You don't have to be the greatest artist in the world, but you can be a great artist to someone."
Beautiful. I love it. Put that on a shirt for me.
Mm-hmm.
It would be the show title, but it's way too long.
Someone's crushing is awesome.
Someone's crushing. Yeah, in a big way.
It's awesome.
Stephanie's artwork is so ridiculously good.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Noelle is what Noelle doesn't realize is when she buys from me, I don't care if I'm selling 100 pictures to somebody, like to a bunch of people, or I get someone like her that's going, my daughter's room is filled with your art. I need more, blah, 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 blah. Like that makes me feel like it's worth getting out of bed every day and keep doing what I'm doing. Like, cause there's someone, if there's that one person, there's going to be someone else that's going to be changed by your artwork. So you hiding, you're kind of ruining it because other people want your art. Janet, I'm like, Janet, I want a painting. Janet, I need another painting. She's like, well, maybe, I don't know. Poor Janet's going to hate me after this.
I have to
like
make
the natural way of going viral as an artist, right? It's the whole word of mouth thing, you know.
That's right.
One person or you're over somebody's house, you see something, you're like, wait a minute, that's pretty cool. Who did that? You know, next thing you know.
Thanks, Noelle. That's nice of her to say. I'm telling you, I'm not even paying her to say this, guys. She's that dedicated. She's awesome.
Nice.
All
right.
I saw in the back there, you have a little thing called Fan Alley. I know what it is, but I want you to explain
okay.
what it is.
No, Fan Alley was
I've been stalking you too.
No. So I had to like watch myself to make sure I was still in the scene, but no, I started.
She lies, I get a good payday. Noelle.
That's hilarious.
So true. I just pay her in art. No, she thinks she's winning, but I'm winning. So no, I started craft shows with a friend named Danielle, and Danielle and I decided we got offered to start a store after someone saw what we were doing after like maybe 2 shows, because we were we were thinking like, what do we hate about craft shows? What do we hate about this and that we wanted to create a cool show, and we were doing nerdy craft shows, which were not around back then. It was still your grandma's church show where everyone wore shawls and only sold pot holders, you know? And so you've been to those, I know. And so I was like the only person going with like geeky stuff, like weird dolls that were called warpies, and the more warped they were, the more love they needed. That was before Ugly Dolls, FYI. And so when I met Danielle, she was like, yeah, I feel really bored and like I want to do something different. I quit my job and I just want to. And so we started these craft shows. And then someone saw what we were doing through Facebook, which is weird because like Facebook networking wasn't really a thing back then. There wasn't like, you know, so-and-so, so you should meet so-and-so. It was like by chance we kind of started networking. And this person saw what we were doing on our page and said, hey, do you want to open a store? So we opened a little known shop. And then from a little known shop, we moved our second year into a store next to us to like relocate and redo the room, because the first one we had to be open in 2 weeks. That's all we had was 2 weeks to open an entire store. And we decided to do consignment with artwork and crafts because one, there's no overhead really. And they only get paid if we get paid. And it ended up being a really like solid thing. And then after our second year, she got pregnant within 3 months of us opening our store with her first kid. And I was like, okay, you're going to leave now. And she was like, no, I'm going to stay. And then I think after we had her daughter in our shop, like in the little crib in the back, and it was a small shop, she and I both kind of felt like she wanted to do maybe a baby store and I wanted to stick with the geek stuff. So we decided to split, and she stayed in that same room and I moved another room over. So it was like a chain of shops. And I started Fan Alley, and I named it Fan Alley because we had like an alleyway between the stores. It was like a breezeway, and all the stores were lined up, and it was called Community. And I was like, well, we have this cool little walkway area. We should set up vendors, and we started doing shows that way. And then one time I was like, let's make the June one like a Comic-Con event. So we did, I thought it's an alleyway. There's Artist Alley. You become fan, we'll do Fan Alley. And then everyone's like, but it sounds like finale, like it's our last show. And I'm like, nah, they're gonna read it and it's gonna look like Fan Alley. And it ended up sticking. And that's what made the new shop Fan Alley. And then I did that for about a year. And unfortunately, being a small business and in a hidden location, it just didn't stick. But I met people like Stephanie through it, and Chris, and all these amazing people in that span of time, doing signings, doing our galleries, doing pop-up shows, doing gallery signings where we'd have like a Don Bluth tribute show, like my dream show. Oh, nice. And people did these amazing pieces, and then they got to stay, and we set up a whole table where they signed for anyone. And then once people, again, here comes the whole knowing someone, people would walk up and be like, oh, I really like you. You're really nice. Oh, you have a piece in the show? They'd go back and buy it because they met the person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that kind of was the extra seller, or like, whoa, you're actually here and can sign it for me at a gallery? That's like unheard of. If you go to galleries in LA, one, you can't see the art because everyone's doing this. Yeah, it's very nice, and drinking their wine and blocking the amazing artwork. I'm like, I'm not here to see you and your elbows. I'm here to see like my friend's artwork. Like my friend Art Fuentes, he goes by Arf the Artiste. He used to work on like Ren and Stimpy, stuff like that. And he had the most beautiful piece at the, it's called like the Van Eaton Gallery, or Von Eaton. I might be saying it wrong. And then all of a sudden, like, people, what do you call it? People were just blocking it, and a guy spilled wine all over me while I was trying to see the art. So again, taking what I hate and creating a gallery in a smaller space where people can actually move around. And then we'd yell out, hey, you guys can talk all day outside. You can't talk in the gallery. And we keep moving people, but we were doing it nicely, like as a joke. Sure. Yeah. And people would laugh and be like, we got it. We got the cue. And I'm like, well, people aren't going to buy stuff if you're blocking it. How do you think I'm going to make money in this gallery for everybody? The artists, myself. It's stupid, like common sense. And people don't have common sense anymore. They're so selfish, as I talk about myself. And so,
for the record, because you've said that a few times, it's episode 136, Eva Sowinski. I just wanted to point that out.
Me, Chris.
It'd be a little awkward. It would be a little awkward if we had you on the show and you talked about Chris all the time. Yeah, not that that's a bad topic. We're just saying we're here.
If Chris can hang in there, I think Chris has to go do WonderCon stuff. Is there any way we can drag Chris on real quick?
He should be able to join.
Okay.
Invited him. Come on in.
Come on in, Chris.
Yeah.
Come on in. Come on in.
Because Chris did like a few of the galleries, and we got to talking, and I told him that he can join in if he can. I don't know if he's getting them, but he's got so much he has to do. Oh yeah, he says okay. Because I honestly, Ground Zero started with Chris, like with me talking to Chris. So he deserves to be in the beginning of it all. But that was what Fan Alley was. I closed my store and I started to just do pop-up shows called the Artist Lodge. So that's what Fan Alley is. We still have an Instagram account. It's still Fan Alley. We have Facebook. We have a website, etc. I'll type in the website too.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes for people.
Yay! Thank you. But now I have a creative curator that's running them because this Ground Zero is kind of taken over my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marissa Sudo, thank you. I've come along, Marissa.
And for everyone that's in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us this week. You know, if you have any questions, throw them in there. Me and Carlos are looking, and we'll fit them in while we're talking. So don't forget those things.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. I was trying to post it, but it won't let me do websites because it thinks I'm somebody bad.
You're a bad troll.
Yeah, that's
cool too. I need to figure out how to do that.
The website is shopfanalley.com, but everything else is Fan Alley. Some jerk bought fanalley.com and doesn't use it. Thanks a lot.
He's waiting for you to contact him, so he'll be like, "Yeah, I'll sell it to you."
Yeah.
1 million.
Anyhow, I promised. Oh, thank you. I promised myself I wouldn't talk all about it, but that's what Fan Alley was, and if it wasn't for Fan Alley, I wouldn't be doing Ground Zero. So it all kind of flows together. But yeah, it was a rad shop. We had really good people. It flows in time.
It flows in time.
Corners to corners. Can he not get in the link?
I sent him the link. There he is.
Look at that handsome man. There he is.
Everyone, welcome back. Chris Wimberly, the legend.
That's too big. Yeah, that's too big.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's right.
Thanks.
That's right.
Yeah. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I haven't been on in
Charlie, look at the t-shirt.
Huh?
Oh, it's Batman. Nice.
Oh. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think I can't remember the last time I came on was
what was the show number?
Probably a year ago. I think it was the wrap-up show, the year-end show, like
yes.
a year ago.
Yeah, DaCosta was on there. There was like a handful.
Oh, so he's been on what, twice, right? Twice?
Yeah.
Because he had his show and the wrap-up show. Yeah, okay, yeah. He's a vet.
But if you want to talk about someone that Chris, I should have said this before you got on, because now it just seems like I'm being super booty kisser. But
just say it.
I was going to use a big word, but then I was like, I don't know if that's the proper word.
Okay.
Obsequious. But
look at you.
But Chris preaches about networking, and networking is not a bad word. And one of the people that is the most giving, and Eva, you've learned this, like Chris is so willing to just be a part of whatever, and he gives, and he has currently still a couple episodes left, but has his own podcast, and just everything that you do to help people achieve their goals. It's just, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very, very nice. Yeah, no, that's really nice. And you're right. Like, it is wrapping up. It's going to be done very soon. There's only 3 episodes left of the podcast.
Oh.
We just wrapped up the newsletter last week, or this week. I don't even know. My brain is just mushy.
I think we got it. It was either late last week or early this week.
Yeah, it was last Thursday. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just finished that, and I've already stopped doing the YouTube video. I've already started closing down all of the extra services that we were doing on the website, like I think there's still portfolio reviews and resume stuff, like building all that stuff. I think is still up, but like I've stopped doing the what do you call that? The storyboard mentorships and just all those kind of things are all like coming to an end after a nice long 5-season run.
Yeah, it was a good run. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a lot of work. And and all we do is a show. And I keep looking at like what you call it, like MailChimp or whatever, doing a newsletter like that. And I'm just like, man, I don't know if I can.
Well, that's why I didn't do it by myself. I did it with a team because it's so much work, dude. Like, it is so much work. And I mean, you all do a great job at what you're doing now. Just imagine putting the 100% you put in now to these couple of things you do, and then just do that times 4.
Yeah. Adding more stuff to it. No, thanks.
Which just means you add more people.
Add more people, and then all the your regular work, during the day too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that too. Actually. Yeah. So the reason I was waiting so patiently before is because I was working as I was listening. You guys are talking about studio work, and I'm actually doing it right now. But yeah, so that's why, like, I probably can't hang out too long, but I wanted to join a little bit to see what's going on.
We'll talk about then how the networking happened between you and Eva, like the origin story, if you will, because Eva, you touched on it right before Chris came in, and I think that'd be a good place to start. You know, because how you guys meet each other and stuff like that.
Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want?
I was gonna say it was a nice night, and Chris leaned over a counter and said, "How do I get involved?" I remember, but I don't know. Maybe he remembers it differently.
That's how I was gonna preface it. I was gonna start by saying I don't remember what you remember because we're coming from different ends of the table here. But the first time I don't know if you remember this. The reason I came to Fan Alley was because I had an art rep at the time who was scouting for me, like places that I should be involved in. Yeah, wow. See?
I had no idea.
Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. And well, you're a busy person and you talk to a lot of people. So, but she was the one who found Fan Alley, and she was like, yo, you need to go check. Like, this is exactly what you would want to do. So I was like, all right, let's go check it out. So like, it was me, her, my wife, we all rolled down to like check out. It was the
was it the Don Bluth gallery?
No, it was the yes, it was the Don Bluth gallery. And I was like, yeah, this is rad. It was like that whole breezeway, that whole like thing was filled with tables, and it was like a mini carnival. Like, it was super rad. And you guys, I just remember you like standing on tables and shouting without a megaphone, like
really good at projecting.
Yeah, drawing names and stuff and like doing giveaways. And I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And so, yeah, at the end of that, I was like, okay, so how do I get into the next show? Which I was in the next one, which was the
was it the 80s?
It was, and I did the Never Ending Story art piece. Yeah,
yes,
the deck of cards and all that kind of thing. So I did that, but so that's how originally we got connected, because after the Don Bluth show, we ended up talking for a good like long while after the show was like kind of shutting down, and we ended up connecting on a lot of really similar levels about you know, just like the way that we feel about like networking and helping other people to realize their dreams and their aspirations and all that sort of thing, which who would ever think, cut to whatever it's been 3 years later or whatever, here you are doing Ground Zero and asking for my participation and all that kind of thing.
Always. Like, if you ever tell me now I'm done and this is my last one, I'll cry. But like, he not only like helped, I'll get to that, but he makes my show valid. Like, I can name drop Chris Wimberly and people are like, oh, Chris is doing it? I'm all like, yeah, you need in. So if I mess up, I feel like I'm letting Chris down. And so Chris is like this driving force for me to be like, what would Chris do? Like, I wear it on a bracelet.
For the record, I drop Chris's name too.
You're kind of famous. It's kind of a big deal.
I'm so glad it hasn't backfired yet on anybody. One day somebody's gonna be like, you know, he owes me, you know, some insane amount of money. And they're gonna want you to pay it for me.
That's funny. Now, I don't know. I don't remember, and maybe Chris can fill this in, is that I don't remember how I got to start asking you, like, what should I call it? I think you reached out to me and just said, that's exactly what it was. Because Chris is so good about calling me or texting me like, hey, have you thought about this? And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is I don't know what to do if people aren't telling me, right? So I only know what to do, what I would do. So when Chris is like, hey, you're calling it the Animation Expo, it's pretty generic. Like, let's find a cool thing that really sticks. And he was throwing names, I was putting names, and then I was like, I like this. But I think the first email had Ground Zero Animation Expo, and I don't know, it's still to this day, I'm like, no, it was the name. Like, it was meant to be the name.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's basically how I remember it too. I mean, it wasn't so much that I was trying to commandeer your your show or anything like that. I was just, I understood what you were trying to do, and I was trying to lend whatever help I could to help see it go that way. Because I mean, you didn't pay me for that name. You didn't like, you never asked me to do anything. Like, you never asked me to like do a logo for you. I mean, you know, some people really.
Would you like to do a logo? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm just saying. No.
I don't have time. Otherwise, maybe,
I can't pay you enough. I'm sorry.
No, but that's really what it was. It's just like, I believed in it, so that's why I wanted to help out with whatever it was gonna look like, and it really needed the zing. It needed some branding. It needed something to, like, I mean, the way I put it to you in the email was, how are people gonna talk about it if they don't even know what to call it?
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah. And so now people. I was having lunch with Nick Kennedy yesterday. I know, right? I was having, or not yesterday, day before yesterday, I had lunch with Nick Kennedy, and he was like, so GZA, Ground Zero, and he's like asking me if I was going to be there and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, it's so weird to hear people call it by its name.
I know.
I don't think many people know that that's like, I named it, and I don't need them to know that I named it. Like, I don't care about that. Like, it's just cool that it worked. Like it's exactly what I was hoping for you, and it worked. So,
well, thank you. And I'm the kind of person that I'm like, it's not, I didn't think of the name. Like, I want to make sure people don't think I get credit, because I know Chris doesn't care, but I care. Like,
well, thank you. Yeah.
The credit goes to him on that, because every time I print it or something, it's you know, it's the name of something that is grown so much just in 3 years. And I owe a lot to Chris, because people were so excited to meet anyone on the Animation Network. Like, they were excited to get their portfolios reviewed.
Wow.
And they didn't just review portfolios. Chris was like, oh yeah, we'll take this much time. And then I'd look over, I'm like, that person's still there. Like, he genuinely cared about them understanding what they could do. And that's him. And that's why I don't want to lose him, because I think he's one of those people that just gets me and knows there's nothing in it for me. I wish there was, but there's just not, other than pure joy at the end to go, wow, that was a good show. And like, everyone had a good time. And if they didn't, again, if you were a vendor and you didn't have a good time, you better write me. And there's a positive way to say, hey, let's try this next time, or have you thought of that? So if you're an attendee, I need people to write. And honestly, the last 2 years, I've gotten nothing but like really nice letters from people saying, I came from San Francisco, and it was a really good show, and I hung out the entire day. There was something to do all day long.
That's cool.
And this last year, we did button pressing, and that became, the first day it was kind of quiet, but then by the second day, they were running around with button circles, having all their favorite artists draw on them, and then pressing them into it. And like, the artists were more than happy to do that at like $1 a button. And that to me is like, those are the people I want involved in the show, because they get it.
Right.
So Chris is like #1 on that, and he's just introduced me to Tiara.
Yeah, Tiara Little. Yeah.
And she was gonna come on, and then said, you know what, maybe I'll talk later. So I kind of threw her out there. I mean, she's gorgeous, so I was like, girl, you're camera ready. But you know, she kind of dropped the whole tan ending thing on me, and I was like, no, they're not. And she goes, no, but it's good. I just found out tonight.
Oh,
so I was
by the way.
sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
That means good things. It means you guys are all growing in your own ways. And she's mentioned she's going to take over a part of more the resumes and portfolios. And honestly, just meeting her through Skyping and stuff, she is like the coolest chick. And if Chris trusts her, I know she's good. But I met her last year, but I couldn't, like, we didn't have enough time to chat. That spending time with her tonight, people are in good hands. But I did just post tickets today to get resume and portfolio reviews, which are limited. And yeah, so Chris, what are you gonna kind of do this year for vending, like being at your booth?
Yeah, so like I said, because I really believe in the Ground Zero Expo, I feel like I didn't really want to go in there and just sell a bunch of my own artwork. So I'm actually not selling any of my own artwork. Like if you come to buy anything that I drew, like you're not going to find it. So the whole table is just going to be dedicated to the animation network, which is actually going to be, I think Ground Zero is slated to be our last, like our last public appearance as the animation network. So yeah, and I know people have emailed me to be like, I'm going to that to see you guys. So that'll be really cool. But
that'd be cool.
The idea,
wow, that's good.
What's that?
So that's cool. That's gonna be really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah. So the idea will be that we're just there to support people who are there for exactly what it's called, the ground zero of their career path, right? Like that's where it all starts. That's where they're going to get like real concrete usable information that I think is missing from a lot of other these like networking type events. I think they kind of missed the mark where Eva's trying to make that up, right? And so we're going to be there essentially just to support that. So we're doing we're doing resume sprucing and reviewing, cover letters, you know, if you bring all that stuff, because we help between everybody on the Animation Network team plus the experience that we've gotten helping people. We've literally helped dozens of people get their first internships, their first jobs in production, their first jobs in creative, switch from creative to production to creative, switch from some other art career like graphic design over to animation. We've helped so many people do these things that we know how to do it. We've done it ourselves. We were all interns at one point that have made it into animation. And then from there, we've even done some hiring ourselves. Like, you know, we've had to like review resumes so we know what they're looking for. We've had to review portfolios, like me specifically, so I know what to look for. And that's all the kind of stuff that we're bringing to Ground Zero to try to help shake people up. Because like you said, like, you know, especially after doing it for the podcast, you know, we did so many portfolio reviews that we really know how to dissect it and give people what they need to know and what they need to hear. That every time people are like, nobody's ever told me that. Why has nobody ever told me? Or people give them too much information and that's just confusing and debilitating. So
it gets overwhelming. Yeah.
It gets overwhelming very, and they can't remember what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So we try to cut through all that and try to help people achieve what it is they're setting out to do.
Yeah.
And this is what's
no, go.
All I was going to say is this is why it's exciting for me to be able to hang out with Chris and to meet Eva, is because I also try to I'm a big fan of people who are hustling to get to a certain point. There's certain skills that I bring to the table that might turn out to be helpful for you. Me, I talk a lot.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's really cool to hear you guys talking about how you guys are leveraging your experiences and everything to bring attention to people who are trying to make a career out of art. Because if you look at what we do, we come up with a fun prompt and all of a sudden there's people who are getting an art critique by someone like a Steven Silver and they don't even understand that it's happening. Gem drop, you know? So that was one of the things, yet again, one of the little tricky things that we do to try to get more artists work out there, you know? So when people say, oh, why should I draw the fun prompt? It's not going to bring me any success. Ooh, you just missed out on Steven Silver looking at your work.
Yeah. Well, that's my big thing is what's the danger of doing it versus not doing it is that your Coco reference is seize your moment. And I offered tonight for a few people to come on. That one, I know a lot of people are doing WonderCon, so that's fine. I understood. But two, a lot of them are like, well, I'm shy and I don't know. And I'm like, I just gave you every platform to jump out and talk, and you just said no because you don't think your face looks good on camera. Like, you know, and that's fine. I understand everybody's different, but it's a moment missed, you know, and
right.
What is the risk? So you do a prompt and you get better with the artwork, and maybe you get picked, maybe you don't, maybe you get seen, maybe you don't, but
you know,
and not only that, I mean, you're amongst friends, you know. We're not here to make you look bad. We're just here to bring attention to you and your efforts and what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, you're in the family. We're here. We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to show our own work, and I will harass you until you give me something to talk about.
It's cool though, because like even if you don't know it, with all the different stuff, with you know, going to these events, because I'm always a big proponent about getting yourself out there, going to them, and all it takes is one. Even if you are an introvert, you know. Before I came back to the industry, get back in the creative direction, I taught a lot at the college level for 5-6 years, and you become as a professor, you become very close to your students, and you want them to succeed. And that was the biggest thing. I was like, all it takes is you to go to one event. You realize how cool it is and how much fun you had, but at the same time, how you're learning at the same time. And it's like it can become addicting. Then you want to go to another one. Then you want to start showing your work, and maybe you want to do a table, and you know. So the fun prompt is the same way. You know, that could be another way. You know, if you have trouble figuring out what you want to draw each week to get better, because you want to work wherever, you want to make your own book one day, you look up, and if you've done this for 12 weeks, you know, that's 12 different drawings. You know, and you can see your
portfolio just got puffy.
You know, your portfolio got bigger, or you can see the growth over a set amount of time.
Right.
But I would tell everyone that's listening right now to, you know, go to Ground Zero, experience it, because I think you have people like Chris Ridley there, and Eva and everybody, all the other artists are going to be there. And you might make a connection with somebody that you didn't know you were going to make a connection with, and they inspire you, and that could be the catalyst to get you to do what you need to do.
And look, I mean, we've been doing the farm prompt for a long, like bunch of months, and it finally Charlie said that he liked one of my pieces.
Oh, stop it!
Finally, so,
and I was there to witness it.
Ding 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 ding.
Oh, okay.
Never again. Just kidding. No, yeah, you just keep going. Sometimes you fall into those things. You realize, you know, what's fun, and you do it each week, and you realize you have 64 pieces of artwork.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I wanted to say 2 things to that, Charlie. Number 1, thank you for saying to go. I appreciate that, and believing in something you haven't attended either, but apparently you're into it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
2 things was, one is Chris changed somebody's life, and I don't know if this person has ever expressed it, and I won't say their name because it's not something that I don't think she wanted me to necessarily share, but she went to Ground Zero last year and met Chris. And in a year, not only has she completely changed her mind on what she wants to do in animation, she started off wanting to do one thing. And after talking to Chris, she realized, oh my God, I am so lucky I talked to Chris, because I would never want to do this. I switched to this because of our talking. Not only that, she's now a vendor in the up and coming section this year. And it's a girl that shows up to all of her shows. And she's like, hi, I was wondering if I could be a vendor. And like, she's so sweet. And I'm like, of course, your work is amazing. And it's because of Chris's whole group. I mean, she said all of Tan is amazing, but she did speak really highly on Chris. And I already knew, she didn't have to tell me, but it's like someone like her, she probably would have never asked me had she not spoken to Chris the year prior. And she went to the event alone, which is so scary.
Yeah.
For everybody to go somewhere alone. And then she stayed the whole day and became friends with all our volunteers and told me, like, I'll be a volunteer next year. And then now she's vending. Like, that's epic. That makes me so happy. And to know, again, it's one person. Maybe not everybody's going to come back from last year. That's fine. That one girl has changed forever from one moment in time that, like, she even came back the second day because she wasn't going to, but she had so much fun. She came back. That's so, awesome. Anyway, thank you to Chris, because now I know her, and you've given her like how to be brave and speak for herself, and her work's already amazing. So That was cool.
Where's my sound effect for wind beneath my wings?
You don't need that. It's me. Let me tap into my Bette Midler beaches moment here.
That's really cool.
Midler. There was a second thing to that you guys were talking about, and of course I've lost it because this person has really like made me feel better. But just that, like, oh, I know what it was. Is the people that go, can I be a vendor? And I'm like, well, have you ever been? No. Do you plan on going if you're not a vendor this year? No. Well, you don't even know what the show's about. Like, maybe you've heard it, but it's like, oh, you didn't pick me, so I'm not going. And right. I'm not necessarily saying that's happened, but it's the vibe I get is like, it's not WonderCon. It's not pay a vendor fee and you're in. I don't care about money. It's that these professionals are trading their time and speaking in panels, and I give them a free table. It's a win-win for both of us. Yeah. And I can see the ones that want to come back, and I can see the ones that don't really understand what we're doing, or they were like, well, I didn't sell anything. And I'm like, one, the selling is a perk for you. Like Chris said, it has nothing to do with him selling his art this year. That, first of all, I'm sad because I know how many people love his art, but just saying. But he's there because the heart. And these vendors that just hear that somebody's, you know, like, wow, it was a really cool event. And I ended up selling a lot as a professional. It was really cool. It kind of like paid for the whole weekend. Well, that's great, but don't come expecting to sell stuff. That's not what it is. The up and coming section gets a chance to sell their work and showcase it. And the professionals get to sell their artwork on top of coming to speak on at least 2 panels or to do 1 demo or workshop. That's kind of the agreement. And then on top of it, we have free entry because of our new location is like, we see you have free entry and we're all about that. Like, we're going to keep our cost very low for you. And like everything worked out because that's the whole thing. That's why I want to talk more about it. It's not because I want to talk about me. It's that what we're trying to provide, it's amazing to me. We haven't been reached out to by somebody, like seeing what we're doing with how much momentum it's gathered to say like, we love this. You know what, can we do like a Ground Zero team up where we do a weekend of just resume and portfolio reviews or something. So that's kind of the goal, is someone gives me another spot throughout the year to kind of keep it going. And keep people like Chris going, you know, I can't do Ground Zero anymore, but I can come out like once a you know, every 6 months and like sit in a talk to a bunch of college students or whatever it might be. But that's what Ground Zero is. It's not about you making money. It's about you giving them what they deserve. And me, I didn't have anybody to tell me what animation was about. You just watch cartoons and think, I want to do the pictures that move. And then you hear all about it from your friends that work in studios. Like, no, it's a job. It's a typical job. You're just getting to see this really cool product at the end. And anyway, that's me. But.
Yeah. On that note, I have more of that work to do that you just talked about.
No worries.
And I have to get ready for WonderCon tomorrow, so I have to be up super early, and I have a lot of printing I still need to finish doing. So,
Chris, what booth are you at?
I'm gonna be in Artist Alley at my table number is D like David 37.
Okay.
D37. So I won't have artwork at Ground Zero, but I will have artwork tomorrow, this weekend at WonderCon. So if you're around, Eva, you can come and get a print. I'll give you, or any of you guys, if you guys are going.
Like, I wish I was. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Just swing by my table. But anyway, I'll just real quick last endorsement, because I do believe in Ground Zero. I think it's going to be even bigger and even better this year. I think it will continue to get better. So before it gets so big that people, you know, can't get to it, or who knows what could happen, people should be going now while it's still attainable, while it's still close, and while it's still super affordable. Like, because even though I'm sure Ava's gonna try to do her best to keep it affordable, you know, the bigger the venue, the more expensive it is to put these things on. So before it turns into
take advantage of
some of the other conventions out there where it's a high price tag, take advantage, you know, and get to learn from people who are not just the teachers you listen to every day at school, because they know quite a bit. But for the ones who aren't in the industry or have never been in the industry, there's going to be a deficit there. There's going to be a dip in that knowledge that you can supplement by going to these kinds of events.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well said. Chris says it perfectly every time, but yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime. You know that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, and maybe we will do something again in the future. Then we can have another conversation. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, have a great rest of the show, guys.
Yeah, we're probably going to try to work something in, like building up to Ground Zero. We'll probably get a group of you guys on to talk about it, because I know we're going to be there one way, shape, or form. We're going to be there. So
nice.
We got to support the peeps.
Well, if you do another show that ramps up to Ground Zero, definitely have me back on. I'll tell you what, you do one of those the drawing challenges, not if you do, because you do one all the time, but I'll do like a review of like your top 5 choices. I'll give those people like a mini review of their artwork.
Where is my winning life sound effect?
Clapping.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. That's super nice of you.
It's been recorded, so now I can't take it back.
You've been documented.
Log in and delete the video.
Yeah. Really give my hand, guys. Give me that clap.
That's Chris Wimberly, folks.
All right.
Bye, Chris.
I gotta go on. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks again, bud.
All right. Thank
See
you.
you soon.
That makes me so happy. Okay, so I kind of told Steph to be ready.
Oh, cool. This is how cool Chris is. I had gone to CTN probably not this past year, but the year before that. And Chris was like, "Oh, cool, you're in town? I'll swing by." And we went and had coffee, me, him, and his wife, and we just talked about podcasts and drawing and all kinds of stuff. Like, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Super cool.
And then when we were leaving, he like shook my hand, and you know, I'm tropical, so like our people, we hug and kiss and everything. We're just there. You get us 100%. And so I'm shaking his hand, and I'm standing there. And I was like, "You came and saw me, and you didn't even have to. Like, this handshake thing, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me." So I'm like standing in the parking lot of the Starbucks, like hugging him and his wife, like, "Thank you for coming out." It was so cool.
No, he's genuine, and that's, if those people, they'll hang if they're genuine. But the ones that are just, like I said, it's just they're gone, and they don't ask to come back, and that's okay. I just want the right people talking to these kids, because they were in the same position at some point. They were wondering how to get in. Right. And now we have social media as a part of networking. So that's a whole nother confusing thing, which Morgan Gill she's teaching a networking and being social. She teaches at LCAD out here, which is the Laguna College of Art and Design. And that's like her main class she teaches. But what she's trying to explain is, it's not every time you go to network, you handing out business cards. Go and chill. Go have a drink with somebody, you know, just like you're saying. So, so what I wanted to kind of set you up for real quick, because I know Steph's all ready, but was that Steph is one of those people that she was an up-and-coming person last year. She tabled with Janet, and they designed this beautiful, amazing artwork for the cover, because our shows have the full color pamphlets you get to take home, and it's like fully awesome, right? And so I always pick an artist to do the artwork. Well, Steph did it my first year, but I think she vended outdoors, with Janet. But Janet was like, on the side. I didn't even know that.
You're right. Janet is going to kill you after this.
Shit. Like, I just heard her jump on and like laugh. but like Janet like sat there quietly, and I had no idea she was an artist. Like she was just always like, oh, I just sketch. No, it's Steph show. Well, anyway, the next year I was like, after, because I don't have my original pamphlet, I'm a little bit upset about it, but it had Steph's dinosaur wrapped all the way around. And that made me think of Ground Zero, right? Like the starting base of everything, and so, because dinosaurs. And then and then the next year I was like, you know what? We're gonna pull Janet in, because I had learned about Janet's skill, and I was like, you both are going to go in on this and make this together. So they designed this whole thing together, which is teaching partnering. It's teaching the whole networking thing and making them learn how to work together. So they did it, and then we sold those prints. And this year I have Morgan Gill, who has designed the new character, and she included the dinosaur still in there that's always going to play a part in it. And so anyway, the point is about Steph is that I met her as she was like kind of leaving school, didn't really know. I can let her kind of tell you real quick. And she did my finale show, and she brought like a little tray and didn't even have a chair to sell, you know, to sit and sell her stuff, and was like asking people. And then here she is, and she's working at Disney right now. So like, to me, I wanted to bring Steph on to talk about Ground Zero, because she's kind of started where she was, I don't want to say a nobody. She was already had a good following on Instagram when I met her. And 2 years later, she's grown so much. And then her and Janet have something exciting coming out, which you're talking about illustrations and books. And I'm like, let's just get her on. So that, you know, I want Ground Zero. I want you to hear it from somebody else's point of view.
Let's go.
She's invited. Did she get the link?
So Steph has a link. She should be ready. I told her, I was like, click on it, girl. So like Chris, it might take a second. But you're going to realize she's very, very quiet. So I overpower her.
It's very
not hard for me to
I get accused of that too.
Yeah.
Will you sit down?
Stop it. Stop it.
But yeah.
So while we're waiting for her.
Wait, there she is.
Oh,
hey.
Hi.
Hey. Hey, I was watching the video, and I was like, oh, it's my turn to come in. Hi, hey guys.
I love your hair. Okay, sorry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's growing. Well, I have it like shaved, but still growing. Hi guys.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. Sorry.
Go, Carlos.
Give it a clap. Come on, man.
Oh
yeah. I got like.
Sorry, Steph. I'm trying.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Stephanie's here, folks.
Well, hi guys. Hi Eva. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know. I miss your face. I just tagged her in the comments or in the chat. That's her Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh,
follow her and just be ready to be basked in the greatness.
Thank you. That's so nice. Eva, thank you for that great intro of my little table at your first.
It's the cutest story ever.
Now
you're like awesome.
Yeah, it's like she was saying, or I don't know how this is gonna go. Are you guys gonna like ask me? Or
we're gonna have you back on. We're gonna have you back on to talk about all of you, because now that I have you in my grasp, I'm not.
Here we go.
I'm not gonna let you get away that easy.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is what we wanted your experience as when you first came into Ground Zero. Like, for me, first off, how is it different than any other conference that you've ever been to?
It's very, very open. It's very relaxed and very, very close. Like, it's so easy for you to go talk to people compared to like other expos that you can. But I was hearing you guys talk about like how hard it is to go talk to these artists that you admire. And Ground Zero is like, it's so small and it's comfy and you can talk to people and it's great. That's how different it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's intimate. It's like,
yeah, it's intimate. That's the word. Yeah, it's intimate. Yeah.
But you started with the finale show in our little area of the shop.
Was that 2 years ago?
It's like almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago? Yeah. So Eva messaged me on Instagram a couple times actually. And then I was like, I don't know who this person is, and they keep wanting me to go sell with them.
I thought I was bad.
And then I was like, and it was during the time where I was finishing school, and I decided to do freelancing, and I needed to pay bills too. So I was working at Starbucks, and I saw her message again. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to sell, but I want to meet her and I want to go do that experience. So I thought there was going to be a table for me and a chair. So I had to borrow a little table. Actually, no, there were 2 small tables and I had to put them together. And then I forgot a chair. So I had to ask a friend of mine now, Emily, I forgot her last name. You know who I'm talking about, Eva?
Emily also.
Yes.
Yeah.
She let me borrow a chair. She was very nice, and she let me borrow a chair. And that was my first time selling. And I had about like 4 drawings, like 4 prints. I mean, like I had like maybe like 10 of each of those prints, but that's all I had. And I sold like a couple of them. But I mean, I was just there to meet everyone that had done it before, and like meet Eva for the first time. And I remember just getting to know her and being so happy that I met her in person.
Likewise, thank you. I just knew her as the skateboarding
beginning of a great friendship is what happened that day.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, that was the start of.
And then you did do the cover of the dinosaur for the first year when you didn't know what I wanted, and I went to the sketch book and I was like, that dinosaur, the old man dinosaur.
Yeah, I was looking at the butterfly. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that was really cool. I was very surprised that.
Hold on, I've got it.
And then now you're going to be a vendor.
There it is.
Again, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
He's looking at a butterfly.
So the first year was really, really cool because it was actually my first time selling and having prints in a book that my friend Janet and I worked on. And so I felt good. It felt really fun to do that, to have that opportunity, and as like an up-and-coming artist. And I knew it was a really good opportunity to meet other people as well. Not just to sell things, but connect with other people that were working at the studio too. Yeah, that's yeah.
So first year, I'm so sorry to cut you off. The first year,
it's okay.
You tabled, but Janet didn't, right?
The first year,
she kind of had a couple things on the table, but not really.
She did it. Yeah, I remember I told her to sell with me, and she wasn't sure what. So I think she had a couple things. She had her sketchbook. I think she was just kind of showing her artwork as I was selling my things. But I really wanted her to also show her work because
there's Janet.
She's very good. She's very, very good. And we wanted. Okay, so I guess I can talk about like the project that we worked on together, which was Zeta. And we decided to work on that project because we wanted to work on our portfolio together and try to make something interesting and exciting for ourselves, but also to improve our artwork as well. And so we worked on Zeta. This is the book. It's probably backwards on here.
No, it's
right. For me, it's backwards. Yeah, and so we partnered up together and we worked on this art book.
Yeah, we can see it. I have you full screen.
It's the concept art in it is so beautiful. I'm like, ugh, I can't even. Not only that, you guys whipped it out. And how long? Like how long?
We had 3 months to work on this, or we set a time limit because we knew that if we didn't, we would want to like go on forever on this project. And so we're like, okay, we have 3 months. What happened?
How many pages in the book?
I think there's about 30 pages in the book. Yeah, and so we really wanted to just make a book to show like the concept design that she and I worked on, and kind of showing people that it's really fun to collaborate with somebody else, and that experience working together with another artist. And yeah, we created that book. It was really cool.
Amazing. And you guys sold out, right? Didn't you guys sell out?
Yeah, it was crazy. So we made about like 15 prints, and we didn't think we were going to sell out. We're like, I don't know if people are going to buy this book. And people were interested in it, but we didn't think they were going to buy it. And yeah, we sold out. And crazy thing too about Ground Zero is that Gallery Nucleus was there and we had no idea. And then I got an email that same night that they wanted to sell our books there because they liked the project we did. So that was blowing my mind. Like, what the heck? So
because not only that, I didn't know they were there either.
Yeah, it was weird. And I remember telling Janet, I was like, who's this? Like, yeah, it was.
Once again, she's like,
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. But again, it creates a moment that you guys would have missed had you not been there.
Right. Or like if we didn't make a book, you know, if we were just like, this is just online stuff. And so, yeah, it was, Ground Zero really gave us kind of like a goal to set for ourselves to do projects.
That's right.
And I feel like that's a good opportunity for people that are doing that now or want to in the future. Like, oh, I'm going to have a table, but that means not just selling, but I can work on a project for myself and put it out there.
And I also, because when I believe in somebody or I already know they've got the skill level, they just need to be seen. I went ahead and asked them to do a gallery, and we only had one panel room the last 2 years. This year we're going to 3 rooms. We get to rotate different things happening, which is really nice. But we had one room, and we decided to let them hang their pieces of Zeta all around to make it like a gallery. And then I asked them, they were terrified, but I asked them to come and do a panel and talk all about the concept art and what was kind of the story. And I mean, it was phenomenal. And so this year, I believe you guys have a little something you just announced.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Yeah, so we're working on another little small project, and it's more about feelings and emotions. And because a lot of people, I feel like, or we thought about how a lot of people don't talk about that. It's not really out there. And so we wanted to get inside of like that feeling of isolation with the story of these little 2 frogs meeting each other, but also growing apart, but then coming back again. And so that is the little project we're going to work on. Yeah.
But,
and it's a book or is it an animation?
It's a book. It's probably going to be something like this with this size. But it's going to be more of like illustrations. And then at the end of the book, we want to have like the concept designs of everything, of like the behind the scenes, I guess. You could say that. Yeah. So we're excited to be working again because we've both become really busy this year. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. What happened to you, Steph?
I just left, you know. So crazy thing about also, you guys are talking about connections and networking, right? And like going to places. So I had a lot of friends that transferred to Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton, and they started inviting me to, I don't know if you've heard of Pencil Mileage Club. There's like a club there, and they bring in artists, and so I would go every Friday to listen to their talks. And one of them was a alumni panel of people working at Disney, and one of them was a recruiter. His name is Matt Roberts, and I sketched everyone and I tagged him, and he didn't see it till like months later, and he emailed me and he asked if I wanted to apply for a training program, and that was like around August. Yeah, it was like August, and I was like, sure. I'm like, a recruiter's asking me to, like, why not? It was crazy because like I was doing character design. Like I've been studying that my whole life. So when he asked about storyboarding, I'm like, I don't have anything. Like, why did he ask me for that? So I just, in 2 months, I just put a bunch of stuff together. I applied, and then I didn't think anything was going to happen. So I'm like, I'm sure there's other people that have been doing this for a while. But surprisingly, I got in. I don't know how that happened. Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was crazy. Very, very happy and blessed to have had the opportunity, or having this opportunity to be there.
But it's your hard work and your
right.
You know, what's the saying? It's opportunity is where hard work and luck come together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you weren't ready,
it was like exactly.
To that point,
it's the right time for.
And where did you when you first went to Ground Zero? You said you were just finishing school.
Yeah.
So, like 2 years ago.
Well, it was about like 3.
3 years ago. Cool.
Yeah. I went to community college.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh, keep going. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So I went to Orange Coast College in Costa Mesa, and then I did the illustration program there. It was the closest thing to animation, so I was doing that while I was like just studying on my own, and then I started taking online classes. I took the Crystal Academy and Schoolism classes. Are really good websites. So that helped a lot of kind of just challenging myself more besides like school. So after I left school, I was working as a barista at Starbucks, and I knew that I had to keep learning. So that's why I was taking more classes online and trying freelance. And freelance work too, but it wasn't enough like to pay bills. So it's like I gotta find like a stable job in what I want to do. So yeah, Ground Zero kind of What?
Oh, I was gonna say, and you traveled too. You went up to Seattle.
I did. Last year I went to the Schoolism Live event in Seattle, and they had a workshop with what's his name? Oh my God.
It's okay.
I'm like
brain farted.
Yeah, like Chris Sasaki. Chris Sasaki and Andreas Blatch. He's like a sculptor. He's done it for like How to Train a Dragon. And what? Oh my God, I'm forgetting the names. There's a couple people from Disney that were working. Yeah, it was really bad. But it was great. It was really cool to go up there.
I always tell people to go to those live things. So school of those great sites. Go if you can go, if you can make your way to go.
Yeah.
You know, for me back in college and dating myself a little bit, it used to be I tried to go to everything local I could, but I always regret going to some of the like venturing out and going to some of the bigger ones. Like I think back in the day for me, it was like Massive Black stuff and conceptart.org and all that stuff they used to do back in the day and have all the ones out there. But yeah, you can go to those things, go.
Yeah, and you build like you build connections too, right? Like I'm sure you've met people and you're still talking with those people. Yeah. In Seattle too, like I have a good friend from over there now. She's living there, and I just started talking to her because she was kind of alone sitting down, and I was like, "Hey, like, do you want to share a table?" She's like, "Yeah," and then we just started talking, and then she did art too, and now we're friends. And she actually came down last year to CTN. So she traveled over here and we met up, and she's super into like animation too and character design. So it's really cool having that connections of like and places you didn't know.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to. When you also met somebody, I can't remember if it was at Artist Lodge events with Fan Alley or at Ground Zero, but you worked on some side projects for that gentleman.
Oh yes, Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Yes. But how did that happen?
Oh, from Ground Zero. Yeah.
Oh, it was Ground Zero. Okay.
Yeah, it was Ground Zero. Yeah. I was in the up and coming. I think that was the first time I was in Ground Zero. That was the first year. And you're like, hey, there's this guy that wants to talk to you. And I'm like, who's this guy? Like, I don't know. Yeah. No, but yeah, he came up and he was asking me if like he loved my work. And so he was like, oh, like, are you open for freelance? And I was like, yeah. So he works at Illuminations right now. He does consumer stuff, right, Eva? Like,
yeah, he's all over the board. That man has made he's like everything, but yeah,
he's done a lot. Yeah, he's done a lot. It was just great. It's really cool. So I got a chance to like just work with him and learn kind of like that field of freelance, which is really cool.
Talk about how important it is for people to go and just as simple as be in a room with the same people that speak the same language. you know, like when you say, oh, a number 2 pencil, or even, you know, a layer in Photoshop, just to be able to say, you can't have those conversations at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, this pencil. You don't know how like amazing this pencil is.
Those are our meetups.
Or like pens.
Like, where did you get that pen? Yeah.
Feels so good. I love this.
Like, let me see the paper. What kind of sketchbook is this? Does it open fun? I'm like kind of picky with sketchbooks, actually. Like, I like it when they lay flat, and I'm always trying to find those ones that lay flat, and it's just nice. Because then you have to like break them if they don't.
Like break their wheel.
Stephanie starts throwing them up against the wall.
Yeah, like it's not working now.
Open, damn it!
Lay flat.
I know that
like comes back.
I had found out we were doing some like pop-up show at some club, and I wrote Steph. I'm like, I can't guarantee it's gonna be fun, but at least we'll be with each other. And we went to this like club in Santa Ana and started selling our art.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Steph was sitting there inking with, you know, like a straight up long brush and just is inking. And I'm like, how do you do that? So she ends up giving me like a whole lesson because no one was there to buy our stuff. And
we're just sitting there.
And I still have a bottle of ink, and all I taught myself that day was, just because Steph can do it and she tells you what to buy doesn't mean you can do it. So
no.
Yeah. She's Steph Oval. She is the Steph Oval on Instagram. She's amazing. So
right now, Stephanie's like, well, if it's just sitting there, I'll go ahead and take it off your hands.
Like, you don't need this stuff.
What about that ink, though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. That was really cool. Yeah.
But now I miss her because she moved to Burbank.
I know. I miss her.
She's become a Burbankian.
It's very lonely.
Burbankian.
Burbankian.
I call her Banky for short.
Banky? No way.
Banky now. Nice.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So you can follow her on Instagram at Steph Banky.
Banky. Oval.
Steph Oval. Yeah, clear it up, Steph.
Banky Oval. Yeah. That'll be my secret Instagram, and I'll just share like the most secret art on there.
And if you put it together, if you put her first name and that together, it'd be Spanky.
Spanky. Spanky. Is that a dog's name? No, is that?
It's a little rascal.
Yeah.
That'll be the name of the one you're wearing on your shirt. But yeah. No, I wanted to bring you on, Steph, because I think you're like somebody that has grown a lot through the shows, and you literally started as, this is my first show. Then you came in last year, and now you don't even need me anymore. No, I'm just you never call me.
So first you didn't have anything, and then the second year she gave you a chair, and then the third year
I get free now.
That day.
No, the second year I learned my lesson. I bought my table. I have chairs.
Now we provide table and chairs, but before it was.
But I have my own table now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
She's like, I don't want your silly table.
So this year, how will you be vending? Like, are you and Janet sitting at a table together again this year?
Yeah. We're gonna be, Janet and I are gonna be sharing a table again, and we're actually gonna be like splitting it in half. So she has her art, I have my art. And probably in the middle we'll have a wall between each other, and we don't talk to each other though. And
the wall is made
we'll
out of fire.
Yeah. You got to see the wall, guys.
Like just like okay. There's like text each other like, hey, like, do you want to get lunch?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be tabling each other, and then I think, are we doing a panel? I heard we're gonna.
I wanted you guys to talk about your new project, and because you guys probably won't be done by Ground Zero, but at least it'll be. I don't know, maybe it will be done.
Yeah, that's our goal. We have a month and a half to finish this.
Countdown.
But
they've done it once,
pretty good though. It's actually less. It's good to have a timeline because that way we don't get too distracted on like the big picture of the idea. So.
And the last thing is, are you making a book of your Inktober?
Yeah, I actually am. Awesome. Thank you for reminding me to talk about that. Yes, because once I finished it, people liked it a lot, and I didn't expect that. And I was like, "Do you guys want a book?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, like have a book." Like, okay. But during that time, I didn't have enough money to print books. So I was like, I'll get there. I'll save up money for this book.
We're gonna start a Kickstarter for Steph.
Thanks.
Right.
Or
no,
GoFundMe or something.
Those are my two weaknesses.
Yeah, he's a serial.
Stephanie's art and my Kickstarter. I just that's my kryptonite. I'm just like, just take all my money. That looks really cool.
I mean, if you guys, and for any viewers that have not gone to Steph Obel's page and scrolled back, it's one coffee, which is like my life, and then animals, which is another part of my life, and then she writes illustrations. She gives a whole story. It's not just here's a picture of a dog drinking coffee. Stories.
Well, I started doing that because, and I'm gonna try to find her really quick. I was inspired by someone here on Instagram. I'm gonna remember her name. Give me a second. Don't leave. Rachel Joy. If you follow her on Instagram, her name is Rachel Joyce, or at Rachel Joyce, and her illustrations are beautiful too. And she always wrote like a story behind it, and so I love that. And I asked her, I was like, hey, like, I'm really inspired by your stuff. And she's like, oh, thanks. And so that's why I started writing little stories at the bottom.
You connect with it the second you read that, you feel it, or you've lived something like that, and you take a lot of it from life, like something you've been.
Yeah. It was. I'm a very hopeless romantic, so a lot of it was very cute, like loving moments. So yeah. Like,
well, and not only that, your newest one has brought people to tears. I know is your rainy one.
The rainy one.
Yes.
Yeah. That happened. Yeah.
I was like, oh,
people cried. No way. Yeah, it's just little moments I've had with a certain someone. That like it's just. It's fun to kind of like pour your emotions into a drawing, and then people can relate to that. Yeah, it is therapy. Yeah. And it's crazy how like people like, yeah, like I felt that before. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like people also have feelings. No, of course they have feelings. But yeah, because I find art too that also makes me like very emotional, and I'm like, how do they do that? Like I want to do that too. I want to be able to create that emotion, feelings. No, and that's why Jen and I are working on that project together to try to do that.
Well, you see it even in describing it. You know, you pick up on a lot of things, and you get to talk to a lot of different people. But you pick up on when somebody, you know, like I do this a lot too when talking, and I know most artists do this, like talking about that piece. You know, you think about it, you can tell you think about it, you can tell you can figure out finding the words to describe it and stuff like that, and how it's had a connection with you, you know. So that's always cool when talking with artists. They take a pause or whatever about a piece of artwork and stuff like that. It makes you goes back to what Eva said earlier in the beginning of the show. When people see you make artwork, they get a connection with it. So sometimes when people see artists describe their artwork and take a moment or think about it, or you could tell it like has some type of response with that artwork. That's what people get drawn to. That's what people get connected to. So it's great. It's great. Love it.
Agree. Thanks. Yeah. I feel like that's what a lot of artists are trying to do, right? Is like that message in our art.
You want that connection.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that connection with it. Connections and networking now. It all comes together.
Bring it all back around.
Chris is yelling at his computer right now. Like, yes, exactly. Yes. It's not a bad word.
Bring it back together. Awesome.
Cool. Steph, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Steph.
Oh yeah, it was really fun. Sorry if I'm a little like awkward.
You're fine.
I'm just like, thanks.
There's no one more awkward. No one more awkward than Charlie.
But I want to thank Eva so much, because honestly, without her, without the beginning of her trying to message me and wanting me to like throw myself out there, and I'm like, no, go away. Yeah, thank you, Eva. Thank you. You really
Thank you.
You pushed me so much, and you still do now. Like,
oh, I do.
You do. You do.
Yeah. You can't move too far from me because I will find you.
You'll find me in somewhere.
I will find you.
Oh,
no,
hey,
honestly,
you know what? Here, so Stephanie,
Yeah.
just to show you, just to make you blush a little bit more than you already have.
Okay.
Nice.
If
Go
you
for it.
guys go to Sketch Zone episode 124, so sketch.zone/episode-124. Yeah, you were my artist inspiration back then.
Wait, can you show it on the screen or hold on? Should I find it?
Oh, we can pull it up.
Yeah, he can get it. He can do anything.
Please.
Here. And what's cool is we were talking to Diego Gonzalez, who is a face/body painter. A circle.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, hang on here. Let's see if we can.
Yo, that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool.
So here is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Episode 124. Diego Gonzalez. He's really cool. He does airbrushing, or he came up airbrushing, but then he got into body painting. So now he does body paints for like music videos and magazine layouts and all kinds of stuff. He's a really cool guy. He's been on the show a couple times. But if you scroll all the way down, and he's from Chicago, which my homie, you can see all his work. And then you go down there, and it's an artist inspiration. Bam!
Yeah. If you go back and look at the show, we're probably talking about
it. Playing.
So we've highlighted your work already on the show. We've had it all full
He
screen.
even remembered the exact episode. That's a lot of episodes to remember.
That is, yeah, like how?
Episode 1906 of the article.
I didn't search.
The artist inspiration was a big deal too on the show too. We battle each week to find the coolest ones.
It'd be interesting to see what I said about it. Like,
the segment. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you said. Like, then we go full.
We'll leave it to everyone else. If you guys,
that's crazy.
I'll fly back there and see what I said. But I'm probably just all gushing all over your artwork.
All of our
everything is just fantastic
with the work. You know, I wonder which pieces you picked to show too. You have to go back and look at stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy. Thank you. Sorry, it like blows my mind because like when you're younger, you don't expect that, like later on, you're just like, you're like looking up for people, and then you wind up being the people that you wanted to be, and now you're giving back. It's like the full circle again, but it's weird. Like, I don't know what to say. Like,
Noelle's giving me such a hard time. She's like, total fanboy. I'm like, yeah.
Because like, it's.
And it's funny because, like, I didn't think Steph would stick around because she's so good that I figured she'd be like, I'm too good for like Eva's little measly fan alley shows. And then when she stuck around, I was stoked because then I got Janet as well. And,
and you guys should really check her stuff out. Like, she's amazing. She
I wrote it on this side too.
One little step into a door, and then like things will happen. Amazing things.
So what we do is when you guys go to launch this book, you have to come back on the show to talk about
That's what I tell her. I'm like, when you get bigger, then just remember me.
I
didn't even know I was going there, but I did it.
Yeah, remember me. Yes, we will always remember you, but of course.
Before we let you go, if people want to find your work online, where can they find you?
So the Instagram one. I am also on my website, which I'm trying to remember the name of because I haven't been on it in a while. I'm like, what am I doing? Where do I? Hold on.
Pull it up.
I just don't want to say it wrong, so just want to make sure. I know it's like StephanieRizzo.com. I'm pretty sure it's that, but hold on, let me check. Because what if it's a weird website? Let's not do that.
Yeah.
See what shows up. Nope, that's not. Stephanie.
I'm professional. Okay, so it's Stephanie Rizzo, yeah, .com. It should show up.
Stephanie Rizzo, right?
Yeah, it's like there's an alligator on there.
Okay, there it is. Perfect.
Stephanie Rizzo. We'll put a link in the show notes.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so I'm there, and I'm on Twitter as well as Steph Obel too. So they can find me on the on there. I post my art on there. And then I think that's all I have for online.
There it is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so you guys can find me there.
Oh
yeah, it was really fun. Thank you. Yay.
Bye, Pinky.
Thank you.
I'll see you later.
Bye. Bye.
Live studio audience, folks.
It's great. How many people are listening? That's a lot of people. A lot of clapping.
That's a lot of clapping. Or it's a soundtrack.
They're paid for.
Where's it coming from now?
They're bots that were paid for.
In the front row that gets really exciting goes.
I didn't know if Steph knew where the end button was.
Oh, I know where it is.
You do? Okay, no.
Like, I know where it is. Do you want me to leave or Eva? Like,
no, I was
you want me to go?
Eva's like, don't forget about me, but now you can leave.
Yeah, she's like, okay, anyway.
I'll be texting her the rest of the night. Don't worry, I'll talk to her. No, I know Sochi. Sochi was just saying that she'll jump on, but she didn't want to come on when Steph's going because Stephanie is the greatest.
No, stop. Anyone can come join.
Yeah.
I know we've lost control a number of times on this show, and it's all good. Those are everyone's favorite shows.
Yeah.
When they go on tangents.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah.
That's all we are.
All right. I do need to sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
But thank you. It was really fun. And can't wait to see. I guess you guys are going to be at Ground Zero, right? Yes.
Yep, we will be. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I'll see everyone there.
See you there.
Oh, there's somebody joined. Oh no! Should I leave?
I want to do like the Brady Bunch thing where we all look at each other.
Wait.
Someone walked in the room.
Wait.
So I wanted to invite Sochi on because
I feel like I met you, but I don't remember.
That's Sochi.
Sochi.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Sochi.
The audience is getting a workout this week.
I'm actually writing her information on the side for Instagram. It's Chalks in a Box, CHOX in a box.
Now I don't want to.
We got some chalks in a box.
But I brought her in because one, she hasn't attended Ground Zero because we just recently met. Two, she will be vending for her first time ever at Ground Zero. So I kind of wanted one last take on Ground Zero from somebody that's never attended but kind of heard about it. I don't know, Sochi. I don't know if you really ever did hear about it other than for me, but yeah.
Yeah. So, hi, everyone.
Hi.
So I had heard about it, and yeah, I kind of, it's funny. I had met Eva like before a while ago. Like a friend introduced me to her, and like when Eva reached out to me saying if I wanted to be in Ground Zero, I was like, we've met before. Like, I don't know. Yeah, sure, I'll be a part of it. Like I had always wanted to. So it's like really exciting, and gotten to know Eva a little better, and I don't know, I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, there are very few people I will reach out to. I try to kind of avoid that because it's a juried show. I get professionals to go through the up and coming application, so it's not all on me. Somebody can't be like, Eva didn't choose me. We do it for the professionals and we do it for up and coming. And honestly, I don't work in studios, so I don't know what people are looking for. But when I see something, I want to just take credit and say that I know what I'm talking about and I know what people are interested in. So when I saw her Instagram, well, first of all, our friend introduced us. We have a sketch group, and I don't mean to curse on a family-friendly thing, but we're called the Old Lady Sketch and Bitch Group. And
you're far from a family show.
There we go. Okay, well, there we go. And
stop.
Fart poop. Okay, we said it. And so
fart poop.
Basically, I wanted a team of rad women to kind of network in a tiny little group in Orange County because we don't have enough Orange County artists. Like, especially, no offense, we don't know a lot of women knowing women that do cartooning and illustration, etc. So I started this little group because, again, I can't do enough stuff. And our friend introduced us and said, hey, can I bring a friend along? And I met her, and I'm telling you, I looked at her Instagram and like, oh my God, like how is your following so little? But you just kind of started your Instagram.
Yeah, so I've had my Instagram for like maybe 2 years, like my art Instagram, and not gonna lie, I wasn't very active on it, like for the first like whole year and a half. And then just recently starting to be a little bit more active and have started gaining a few more followers. But yeah, I just kind of started putting my stuff out there, and I guess it's worked. So
yeah. And what kind of things have you already done? Because again, this is your first year at Ground Zero, so I don't think everybody knows exactly what you've done, but what have you done?
Like done in like by like vending or
freelancing or any internships, etc.
Yeah. So I've done a couple of internships. I did one very kind of sketchy internship in LA.
Well, it's appropriate if it's sketchy and you're trying to draw.
It was a like no pay internship, only for experience. But did a few character designs there, and a little bit of animating in that internship. And then I did a production internship with Titmouse, and that was kind of, I think, what gave me like more of more recognition, I guess, because I started applying to like other things, and just recently got like a freelance gig for like this totally like independent guy who wants to pitch his like idea to a network. So I just finished doing props on that, and right now I'm currently doing background painting for that. Nice. So that's basically all my experience right now. Yeah.
And what is it that you're hoping Ground Zero will do for you?
I'm just honestly hoping to meet like more people, and like I know like Stephanie's gonna be there, and like I've been following her work for a while now, so I'm excited to meet you.
Samesies.
I already know her, so I don't care about her anymore.
Oh, I'll leave now if you want me to.
I'm out.
No, you know where the off button is?
All the minutes on my AOL disc are up.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I just think it's cool that like you're hosting this thing, this event where it's like, you know, up and coming artists, so you get a lot of like really new artists that you haven't really heard about. You get to discover some new people, but then you also get to vend along with like people that are in the industry and like, you know, and you look up to. And I think like how you said and Stephanie said, it feels, I mean, I haven't been a part of it, but it just feels like it is something that's very intimate and like more close. So, and like I've been to CTN, and that was cool. It's kind of intimidating and scary, and it's just a hassle trying to get to talk to some people. And I feel like this is going to be a much more like relaxing, much more welcoming environment. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to be a part of it. Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of comparisons that people do. And, you know, I'm sure that we all have seen Steven Silver's video where he was very critical of CTN.
Yeah.
And I guess the fine line that Ground Zero has to walk is it's an animation festival, expo, the same way CTN is. But people are like, are you trying to take over CTN? And it's not necessarily that. Like, it's just a different show.
Yeah.
No, it's a totally different show. And I think if they watch this stuff, we're gonna pump this out like crazy. This is a good show to watch, to get a get a good idea what the show is. It's more curated. It's a lot smaller, and it's more focused on showcasing talent and talking to people. So like, I think what we have to what everyone has to remember when like comparing the two shows is you don't really need to, compare the two shows.
That's right.
The main thing you need to focus
on. Go to both.
It's like literally, cutting out all the fat and getting straight to the meat and potatoes of like helping artists grow and get their career started at Ground Zero. So
yeah, and I look at CTN like I don't mean it in a mean way, but like I look at it as an elder. Right? You respect your elders. They were there. Why do you think I want to do Ground Zero Animation Expo? Because I've attended CTN. Like that was my big thing. And I was excited. I got to meet Flim Flammery. I got to meet all these great people that I would have never been in that room with. And there's people that fly from other countries for CTN, right? Professionals come from other countries, and I can't do that. I can't pull that in. Right now it's just guys going, well, I'm in Burbank. Orange County is pretty far. I'm like, hang on. We come to you guys for everything. It's like like you're driving so early in the morning to set up. It's not an issue. But at the same time, it's like, I can't do what CTN does. I can't, and I'm not even trying to. It's an educational show. And it's a smaller show. And a lot of people like, so are you going to ever go to a bigger venue like Anaheim, what do you call it?
Convention Center.
Thank you. And I'm like, one, this is already too big for me. Like, I don't ever want my overhead to be something where I have to start charging an arm and a leg. I want it to be attainable by everyone. I want someone that does fly out to feel like the show was almost like free. They just had to pay for their room and the flight or whatever. I want them to be able to afford it. The goal would be to have people like Don Bluth also join in. Like, I already have great, talented professionals. I really don't need any more. But there are my heroes like Chris Sanders, who I'm always talking to and like trying to put it in his ear, like, please, please come do it. And he's like, I know I'm so busy. And I go, I know, I can see all the stuff you're doing. But to make those people just notice it so that they can go, wow, I can tell them my story of what I did. And so to have a caliber of somebody that can't give me their time of day, they're going to things like CTN right now, and that's fantastic. And so, just like Charlie said, there is no comparison. They're two completely different entities. They're completely different things, and they offer two completely different experiences. The difference is my focus is really on my up and coming. Yeah. The professionals are there to provide the panels and the demos, but who's sitting at the tables all days are those up and coming artists. And I'm a huge fan of Sochi. I mean, Steph doesn't need me to go on and on about how much I think she's phenomenal, but this is someone that I didn't know last year, and I think you're so great. I mean, I don't know if anyone's gone and jumped on Instagram and been like, who is this girl? But
I was looking at it right now. I'm like, oh. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Oh my God.
It's just be fun. And don't get me wrong, if anyone watches this and they're like, I'm an up and coming and you didn't ask me, Carlos and I decided to do this like last minute, and I thought 3 different levels: the professional, the up and coming that's making it and doing a great job, and then the person that's just kind of coming into Ground Zero not knowing what to expect. And I wanted 3 different stories so people can feel like they can sit with one of those and say, that's me. I'm that person. And I just am really thankful that you guys would come on and be so kind to share your experience or what you're hoping for. And yeah, but so what is your goal, Sochi? Like, just in general, where do you want to be? What is something you would like to be doing with your art?
Well, I eventually want to get into studio and want to be in like the design. So probably, I mean, I really love character design, and that's mainly what I want to do, but I really also like just like props, backgrounds. I like kind of creating the world that, you know, we're introduced to in like an animated story. So eventually I want to get there, and I think Ground Zero will just kind of help me like maybe get to know some people that can like maybe help me get there, or just like, you know, meet some really cool artists. And I like, for me, I like hanging out with like an artist and just like, you know, drinking coffee and drawing. Like, that's what I really like to do. So I'm hoping to meet some people that can just like be like, hey, let's go get a coffee and drink and draw and learn about each other's art and all that. I'm going into this event like with a very open mind and just kind of open to meeting new people, open to learning new things, like maybe sitting in at the workshops and the panels, all that stuff. So yeah.
And just real quick, because I'm sure Carlos wants to say something. This is his journey here, but I'm jumping in.
This is the easiest show I've ever had to do.
I'm so sorry.
He is so content right now.
I'm so happy.
Great.
Was that okay? So I didn't just invite Sochi out. She also has been networking with me in the sense of saying, hey, I don't know where to get my stuff printed, or hey, where do I get bags for this? And I know a good majority of that because I had a store, so I had to learn all my resources and what was most affordable. And now that I'm selling my own art, which I haven't really been on this side in a long time, she and I are going to be, which don't worry, I'm going to be ordering them soon, I promise. She and I are going to be like splitting the cost on buying, the 1,000 self-sealing bags. And I've pressed some buttons for her. And then I introduced her to a friend that can also press buttons. Like, we're using each other's skills to kind of, work together. And yeah, again, I'm not somebody trying to make anything out of Ground Zero. I don't want to be seen. I don't have a booth other than for Ground Zero. But she's being very smart in how she's going about it. She's getting to know the curator. She's learning me so that when she shows up, one, she's comfortable and she knows what kind of show it is. And that's where I got really upset, was just people want to be in the show. And when I say, oh, I'm so sorry, you can't this year, I'm completely full, they don't even attend. Like it was personal. And I'm like, nothing's personal. I have very limited space. I think I have like 20 up and coming and 20 professionals. That's it. Yeah. So it's really hard because I have a lot of professionals I love, or they miss the whole like, hey, we're looking for professionals this year and we're restarting, refresh, and then people miss it. And then they write me like a month before and they're like, do you have room? And the thing is, people don't realize is I have 0 room. Like, this is it. So she's been very good as a vendor to reach out to me and tell me her concerns or things that she needs to know to make her booth better, and how to, what should I hand out? Should I do this? What sells at your events? She's just been great. And so you just did a Fan Alley Artist Lodge. And I have to say, I've talked to like 5 people that have like raved about you since then. Just saying like the girl selling the button with 11 on it with the waffle behind her is Mary, right? Is it like the Virgin Mary? Right?
She kind of just has like a little waffle in her hand.
Yeah, like it's awesome, right? But the thing is that it's fun for me to watch people learn about you, because I'm like, this is what needs to happen. They need to all leave with your card and either 1, get a job out of it, or 2, you're just in people's minds now. Now they know who you are. And it's a small enough event, they remember the vendors. That's another huge thing, is if you walk through CTN, and again, no bashing. When I walked through CTN, there was like 500 vendors that by the end of the day, I'm like, who was that first person I met? Mm-hmm. And one person that stood out for me was Ricky de Los Angeles. Ricky Animation is what he goes by. And Ricky's been friends with me ever since CTN that I met him at, because I kept his card. I have 2 of his prints in the background hanging. And that's what I want Sochi to be for somebody. I want her to be that person that they remember. And at a small enough event as mine, it's not going to be hard to forget like her work along with other people's. So that's it. That's my speech.
One of the other things that people will notice is when you go to events like this, you get so amped up creatively that you cannot wait to get in front of a pad and a pencil. Yes. Now imagine having that feeling and then going to hang out with these guys.
Hey, these guys.
If you are sitting with these ladies and you are posting artwork as you're hanging out with them, your Instagram will damn near guaranteed explode, because their art is amazing, and just what you're going to pick up from them is going to be just bananas.
And Carlos, to top that, You have no idea that when I've been posting my vendor reveals, which I get a lot of people going, you haven't posted me. And I'm like, we have 3 more months, basically. Like, I got to stretch out the excitement as long as I can. I'm updating my website as quickly as I can. I'm trying to get my up and coming up there. I had to get the professionals listed because I know that's who people are first genuinely going to see. Up and coming is like a surprise bonus for them. I was trying to do like a guy, a girl, a guy, a girl. We have so many chicks in this Ground Zero that I was like, can't do that anymore.
I'm gonna have to pull a favor on in public. I might have to get to that list because Sketch Zone has been loaded with dudes. And I'm a little tired of talking to dudes.
Well, I have a list for you, good sir, and this is the start of that.
Boom.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, there's too many chicks in our crew. No, I was actually really excited and happy to see that there's this many women doing the show, and that's so not a feminist thing. I'm not saying that. It's just very exciting to know that women are thriving and they are awesome at what they're doing. I mean, on the side, Sketch Zone posted another amazing badass and then listed Sochi. And I was like, because that's what she is. Like, people don't get it. She's rad and Steph's rad and Janet's rad and all these people are rad. And then, you know, it's exciting to know that everyone has a voice now. And that's what's important. So it wasn't my intention to pick a bunch of girls. If you look at our applications, it's mostly girls that applied. I don't know why, but I'm kind of excited about it because it just shows how cool everyone is. So
yeah, we've been showing the crap out of Sochi's work while you guys have been talking as well.
Oh yeah, please.
As well as Stephanie's pull up big, so it's nice and big on the Twitch feed. So you can go back and look at this.
I've been slacking on the YouTube feed, so
I got you. I'm sitting here. I got you. So it's on the YouTube. It's on the every week. You know, we put a nice.
Well, we're gonna have their links on the show notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
but I do want to thank the girls because they're doing this last minute. Like, I wrote them like 2 hours ago, and the fact that you, like I say, Coco, you seized your moment. You know, like. Thank you for coming on. It's a little scary to show your face to the world. That's right. Everyone's watching right now. No.
The world.
Yeah, world.
That sounds like a joke, but you know, we have people that watch live. Like Shiloh is in Australia.
Shout out to Dave Etsy.
We usually have Dave Etsy, who's in Australia. We have someone from Israel who watches regularly. Germany is on live all the time. So yeah. So not to make you nervous, but yeah, you're
doing great.
But like, if you didn't jump on, no one would even hear this, you know? So I think it's fantastic. And I think you're proof to anyone that's going to be an up and coming vendor that watches this. You got to take a risk sometimes, even if it's uncomfortable. And it's going to prove not just to me, but anyone hiring that you're willing to take that extra leap. So
and it's going to be so much better. Just like when Stephanie said earlier, she took the call when you sent her the message. Like, what the heck? What I got to lose? Let's try this out.
Oh, look at Sweden's up in this. That's what I'm talking about.
Sweden, yeah. What's up, Ricky?
The nation.
Yeah.
The nation is worldwide.
Yeah. So that is cool. So like, I'm just excited for like the amount of exposure you guys gotten even tonight, and which you'll get at Ground Zero. You know, because even when all of our other regulars pick this up tomorrow, while they're working on their artwork tomorrow night, as it like just keeps going, and the nights after that, it's cool. So it's great.
Thanks to Sketch Zone, because you guys are creating this moment. And I'm sorry if it's going really, really late. I apologize. I get very excited.
We've been here before.
You got so deep in there. You're like,
whoa.
All right. So now,
Mike, you know,
now that this is a natural transition, and now that everyone is here,
yes,
I have.
We're doing so good.
What does this mean?
What is it?
It was low. This or that? No, it came in low. Hold on, buddy. Man, where you at, Jack? Where you at, Jack?
I'm telling you, I have gotten soft in my.
Wait, what?
Nice. All right. So originally these were for Eva, but now that you guys are here, we're gonna
We're gonna add you in to help her out.
This or that. NorCal or SoCal?
Oh,
Eva first.
I would say NorCal because I love the weather and stuff like that, but actually living a lifestyle, SoCal.
Back and forth.
Are you? How about?
Like,
where are you guys originally from? Are you guys originally from the LA area?
No.
Yeah. Are you from the OC?
Stephanie, where are you from?
I'm from the OC, SoCal. Yeah.
Sochi?
SoCal.
Where are you from?
From LA, and that's a hard question because Northern California is beautiful.
Well,
but
I like it a bit too. Oh, here
I will retire there. That is it.
But I mean, like, my whole life has been here, like in Southern California, so it'd be really hard for me to like transition into like Northern California.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's a lot easier than you think. Now that you guys
look at that campaign, come on up.
Now that you guys do live down in Southern California, OC or LA?
OC.
Stephanie.
Both. Okay, I guess OC. Because LA is really cool, and you know, like Burbank and Glendale, they're all just really together. It's just beautiful up here, but there's a lot of really cool things at the OC too. So I'm kind of in between.
That's an acceptable answer.
Okay.
We're a flexible family.
Yeah.
Sochi, what about you?
That's a hard question too. I really like LA, but I feel safer in Orange County.
But still go to East LA Comic Con. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. That's right.
That's the best answer.
I like them both.
All right. RGB or CMYK?
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I am RGB all the way. Everybody needs to switch over from CMYK to allowing RGB printing. God.
Well, SMYK is for like computer stuff, right? And RGB for printing, or is that the other way? No, wait, I think I got it wrong.
It's the other way around.
SMYK. I'm like trying to think of like Sochi, you go. I was still thinking about my.
We'll come back to Stephanie. Sochi, what's up?
I've only ever worked RGB. I don't even deal with CMYK, so RGB.
Printing, right?
To go a little deeper, like the hidden meaning of this one is digital or traditional.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, that's hard. I prefer traditional a lot more. Digital is really fun too, but traditional, there's something with like your hands and just going all over the place.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Tactile feel.
But digital, you can do a lot of tricks and save a lot of time and like editing and keep reprinting. Yeah. So I guess both again. Damn, I can't choose one.
I'm way too cheap for CMYK. I'm RGB. I'm so cheap. It's not even
RGB. Swatches are awesome. This is better lifestyle.
All right, let's see. This was originally again for Eva, but everyone join in. Animation or illustration?
Oh.
Yes.
Can I be in the middle? I'm like an illustrator, but I love animation. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Stephanie.
Makes complete sense.
I want to agree with Eva too, because
way to make a decision.
I like see, I can never choose one. Okay, I guess I'll just say like the first thing I thought was animation, but there's something in animation that I like their like concept design, which is almost illustration. So that's why I'm like I like illustration too. So that's why.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Sochi.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat as like Eva and Steph. For me it's animation, but if I'm like trying to do something, I'm like in animation, I'm trying to make it more illustrative. Kind of like, you know, my designs I try to make them more illustrative background. So yeah, I don't know. That one's hard too.
Hey, yo, don't you get these questions?
What do you guys think on that one? What do you and Charlie think?
Yeah.
I agree with Eva.
Steal my answer. No.
And I'm out.
No. I love illustrating, but my heart lives in animation. 2D animation specifically.
Yeah, and I'm all about animation also, but it'd be 3D animation specifically.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, that could be a whole nother conversation for another night.
I was gonna say.
Don't get me started.
Okay, so now let's talk finances. Patreon or Kickstarter?
Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah.
So did you make a decision?
Amazing.
They're totally different though.
Which one did you say? I missed that one.
Sure. What about you, Steph?
Stephanie, did you answer?
Like, aren't they like, they're kind of different though, right? Because Patreon's more of like, you do something every month, sort of, and then projects, and then Kickstarter is like, here's a project. Because I like them both. I keep saying this, but I like them both because Kickstarter is like a project and like you help that person.
What about you, Sochi?
I'm a noob. I don't know much about either of those. So I can't say.
Just say one. Just say one.
By the way, Carlos,
just say one.
If you ever need a Patreon conversation, please put me down for that.
Yes,
if you want to do a whole thing about Patreon, I will go on and on.
You know, Carlos, you could have went a step further.
For the record, patreon.com/coconutjustice. Huh, Charlie?
I said you could have went a step further and said Patreon or Gumroad.
Yeah.
Closer.
I actually don't use Gumroad a lot.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Yeah. If you haven't heard about Gumroad, go look Gumroad up. It's awesome too. It has both 3D and 2D artists.
Oh, that's cool.
Same thing as Patreon. It's basically a way for you to do your storefront. So
just like Kyle Webster. Do you guys know him? He's the guy that made the Photoshop brushes. He had a Gumroad and he was selling all his brushes on Gumroad. And then we had him on the show and then he blew up and now he doesn't even know us.
No, he doesn't.
To my life. Stephanie barely talks to me. Stephanie never calls me anymore.
Wait.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, she's never called me. So we've never hung out. We know we don't draw together anymore. We don't.
We don't draw together anymore.
One other cool thing about Gumroad is you can set your own price. So you can just say whatever you feel or give a range. So sometimes artists like will put up tutorials for like $1, you know, and then or $5 or whatever. Or somebody might say, you know, this is too awesome. Here's $30. You know, it's kind of a cool pricing system that's left up to the artists in the community. And it's another way of sharing information, right? A lot more tutorials get put online, a lot more from the art, right from the artist.
What is this?
I feel like I was just. It'll make sense. It'll make sense
like,
in a
what's
second.
going on?
Sorry. I feel like I was at the Oscars. I had to go.
I don't know why, but I just started a Gumroad account while you were speaking, Charlie.
Cool. It's a cool another function, you know, cool another way of doing it, you know. So check it out.
Check it.
All right. Facebook or Instagram?
Oh, Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. You know, win that one.
Instagrams,
as we call it.
Sorry, Facebook. You're becoming MySpace, and I'm not interested.
Especially they're starting to get in trouble for doing skeevy things.
Yeah.
And guess what? They own Instagram, and see where that's gonna go.
And this one came from our conversation earlier. Eva, ham or turkey?
What?
Don't make me choose. Okay, so that's actually a really funny story because I love turkey so much, but then I think about giving up ham for turkey, and then I want to cry. So, and then I think of okja. You know, it's too soon. So I'm trying to become a vegetarian since okja, but it's not working. And so now you're just making me hungry. So let me eat some more of my granola bar. I'm in the middle.
That's so funny.
Noelle says on the chat, says the girl with the Facebook fan group. LOL.
Right. She's like, Facebook is done.
By the way, I did not start my own fan group. They insisted on it. I'm just
okay. There it is. There's the truth.
I'll pay you later.
All right.
You're welcome.
Do you guys want to answer ham or turkey?
I feel like this is leading up to something horrid. Now we're gonna find out.
That's it. This is my last one.
Every time I go to Subway, I get both. So I keep.
No, Stephanie, you really you get both? I would have pegged you to get both.
Right? It's weird.
My decision. Both.
I just get both.
So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll notice that I have started making my own bread. And one day I got into making some bread. I made my own Cuban bread, and then I made my own Cuban sandwich. Shit escalates. And it was
fantastic. You really are into this bread cake.
How big was it? The bread.
Whoa, Steph.
How big was the bread? I'll just do that shape. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. I'll make a dome shape instead.
It was
no. You gotta do this shape.
It was probably like
how high did it like that? Great.
Oh, no, it was probably this high.
Start on this bread thing.
I'm trying to figure out a way to not make it like.
No, well said.
This is how I make bread.
It's huge. You need time to make.
How did you learn? How did you learn how to make bread?
YouTube.
Oh, really?
I thought maybe you were watching.
Anymore. We've got YouTube.
What was your first bread you made, though?
Sourdough.
Oh, nice.
That's my favorite, but I'm just laughing at the way you answered it.
Yes.
My sourdough game is on point.
Oh, here we go.
People don't even say fleek anymore, but my sourdough bread is on fleek.
It's fire.
Son, my bread my bread changes lives.
Oh, come on. Okay, here we go. Moving on. See, I don't have Jack here to control him. He's going into a bread evangelist here, So next up, let's go.
My bread game is on point. So now that we played
this is
that.
Thank you, ladies.
One moment, please.
Here we go.
It's time for.
You're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration.
Are we supposed to be dancing at this point?
This week,
you better come with it this week.
An amazing young man, Marco Bucci. Let's talk about Marco.
Wow.
This kid is nothing but fire and he does it digitally and traditionally.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dude is amazing. Not only that, but he also teaches on YouTube. Not only that, he has a Patreon page.
Nice.
Not only that, but he has agreed to come on the show next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Where's the applause?
No, I get.
All right, I'm already following on Instagram.
Yo, check his workout. His workout's amazing.
I was trying to scroll down, but it wasn't me. It's you.
I need more.
Yo, Stephanie, we're gonna bring you back on the show.
Listen, you guys, do yourselves a favor and go to Marco, MARCO Bucci, BUCCI.com. Not only is this guy amazing, but he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. We've been trading emails. We've been trading emails back and forth. Holy crap, is he cool?
Yeah.
And just like you, Stephanie, I gush all over your work, and it's so good for me. It's good for my soul to know that you are so down to earth and cool.
You can now sleep safely tonight.
Not a monster.
By the way, speaking of monsters, look at that Iron Giant one. Amazing.
There we go.
Click on it.
To the right, Hogarth.
To the right.
No, down.
Oh, this guy here. Oh,
yeah. You can barely see it now, so yeah.
There we go.
God.
Wait, what's his Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
I'm on it right now. Thank you very much.
What is, or can you send it to me?
Yes, I will tag you in it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because that's what I do for friends.
Because that's what friends
And if
do.
you watch his you watch his YouTube videos,
does it show like profits?
He talks about how I think buying art from genuine artists. Exactly, Noelle. She said, I think buying artists from genuine artists makes art even better. I completely agree. 100%. If you're cool, I will endorse a check and give it to you.
You tag Noelle.
Whoa.
But yeah, Marco's videos, if you check him out on YouTube, he will explain to you like how bringing this color over here and then sprinkling it up on top just kind of leads your eye around the. He's so informational. So, dude is amazing.
It's gonna be a good show next week.
I cannot wait. So next week,
Special,
speaking of which, next week we have a Wednesday show because Marco can't do Thursday. He gets my checks direct deposited. Noelle, we might have to have Noelle on the show as comic relief because my jokes are terrible. So yeah, take a look. Marco Bucci. Someone's chiming in with the their own sound effects.
That was me. Sorry.
Oh,
it was an accident.
I thought someone had something to say. Yeah, so take a look. Marco Bucci, please follow him. And again, if you have any questions that you want to ask him, reach out to us. There's a contact page on sketch.zone, and the Sketch Zone hotline is always there too. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to find out, because I'm going to be fanboying in a horrible way.
Very
so yeah, take a look.
Thank you for introducing this artist because it's amazing and I am loving the illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cool. Charlie, you feel like going?
Yeah, I got it. Let's go. Let's do this. Here we go. Share. I'm sharing my whole screen. Didn't want to do that.
Come on, Charlie, you're getting fired here, bro.
No, I'll start the blushing now.
He's just trying to do the what you call it. Let's do it again. The application window. That's what I want. There we go. So I went with a concept artist this week in the spirit of 2D. But this is a concept artist. He works for Electronic Arts. He works on the Ghost team, so it's probably doing like a lot of the Need for Speed franchises and stuff like that. Now, this is definitely a style of artwork that you can get into. And I think this guy's just really into cars. I don't show these type of artists off too much, but like I see a lot of these around. There's a couple other artists that I know of and stuff like that just does really good car type of renderings and stuff like that. And like I know a couple of them that like have parlayed it into like a little bit of a side career where they'll work with like master builders and stuff like that from Japan and other places and get sponsorships with different car companies and stuff like that. But let's look at some of his work. His name is Kazil Salim, I believe. He's from United Kingdom, Guildford area. And it's really cool. It's really good. He's got really cool it looks very 3D, but it's all different concept arts for different types of builds and stuff like that, high end and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. Awesome.
Eva's showing his
I'm just showing that I'm following him now.
There it is. Like he's got cool stuff, like cool designs and stuff like that. I thought it was just something different that I don't normally show, because there's just a lot of different styles of concept art and stuff like that. And since he works over for EA and probably like Need for Speed franchises, which is like the racing car games and stuff like that, it's just kind of cool because it shows off car culture. I'm really big into import cars, and I used to ride motorcycles and stuff like that. So that whole scene is really cool to me. So I always
it's not something that like me as an art, I wouldn't think to look this up, right? So you're kind of opening up a whole nother world that I didn't even think about.
Yeah. It's really cool.
That is cool. That is really cool. I love those.
And it's an art form to doing it because I've seen younger artists try to do these things, and it's a hard form of like first like either designing the car in 3D or doing a combination of a Photoshop type of deal, or painting over and stuff like that. A lot of times these are 3D stuff and they import them in. So there's a whole level of like compositing that it is, finding the right photo and then compositing the lighting, you know, with the design, because these designs are fantastical, you know. So like it's like a 3-part thing of trying to then marry the artwork with the backgrounds that you're finding or the photos that you're taking or whatever, you know. So it's like really, really cool. And he's got a bunch of them. So if I go back to his main page, it's just a bunch of stuff. You know, he even has some bike stuff in there too, which is kind of cool. That's different. It's different stuff. And it's, you know, it's 3D, it's 2D, but it's from a concept design standpoint. So it's not necessarily functional, but it shows off it for you to pass off to a modeler in the modeling department or whatever to get a feel or a build or for a build of a car or whatever. It's cool. So good.
Nice.
So check him out.
That's unique because we've never done
this guy
vehicles on this show.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yo, what happened to your face, son?
A little bit of a robot and character design too, you know. But the level of like realism, which is like also another thing here too. It's a concept piece, but like it looks like this is like a real fabricated thing. It's kind of cool, you know. So check him out. Check him out.
I like it. I like it a lot. Ladies, is there anyone that we want to showcase a little bit? I know this is like last minute for.
Oh, I think Pueblo de Janet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Pueblo de Janet.
Look at Stephanie's like, whatever Eva says, do.
No. I was like, huh.
Right, I just wrote her too.
Do you guys want her?
Yeah,
I'm following her already. Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh, are you? Mm-hmm.
I am. And you know what's cool is
I love Janet
following
Rodriguez.
Sochi too.
Yay!
Yay!
Let's take a look at Janet Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Very cool. I love the use of color.
Yeah.
He's a stalker. All right, listen, Noel.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but it's not my fault. It's
Okay,
not my fault. These me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eva.
No, I was just gonna say that those first ones you were showing, that was the thing I was telling you that I tried to get her noticed. So that background is actually behind me. That's the canvas up there that she did. But in the other pictures, that's like my unicorn and stuff. I did a collaboration with her where if somebody bought her original mini paintings for $50, I threw in 3 random cards of mine and posted it on my feed to try to get more people to go follow her. So this is something I want to do regularly. And she made those in like one day. She just spent an entire day like painting 4 paintings. And happy to report she sold all 4 of her paintings.
I bought one of them.
Yeah, I can't keep Steph from buying her stuff. Yeah. So anyway, just saying that that's not all her art. And I didn't want somebody to be like, but the unicorn sucks. And I'm like, well, that's mine. So.
No.
And mysteriously also plugging myself. No, but just even her stories, because she hasn't been posting much, and she even said that she's not posting a lot. She's going to get more and more to post, but her stories are great because it shows her sketching. This is one of my favorite paintings she has.
Yeah.
And
I noticed
like, it glitters.
It glitters, yeah.
Yeah. I noticed, I'm going to go back here real quick. I noticed these skulls here on one of your posts, Eva, and I was just like, man, those skulls are dope.
Yeah, I wish the dopeness could be mine, but no, they are.
Isn't it funny how something as simple as a skull can be that stylized, where you're just like, how did you pull that out of nowhere?
Oh yeah, and not only that, like her little thumbnails that you're gonna get to, that her and Steph both do. I actually have one sitting right here from that. She's so phenomenal at these tiny thumbnails that it makes me want to just cut them out and keep those. So this is actually still for sale for like $25 if you hit me or Janet up. but it's all her concept art. And I think that's where it all starts, is the idea. And that's why pencil sketches and all of these are the most important and valuable things to me. Those.
I love those.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, they're tiny. They're literally like 1 inch by 1 inch. They're so little that I said, "Are you going to sell those?" She goes, "You can sell thumbnails?" And I go, "Yeah, to weirdos like me that keep everything." Look at these frogs.
Yeah.
Like
I was
Steph,
telling her the other day, Oh,
you influence her and she influences you. I can see it. That's why you make a good partnership.
I was just telling her the other day that I'm learning her thumbnail process. Like I do it on my own, but there's something that she gives so much energy in just that little tiny square.
Oh God, it's beautiful.
And I'm just like, how? I'm just staring at it like, oh God. And I try to do that with gouache and like, I can't do this. Like I'm trying, I'm like thinking about it too hard that I just doesn't flow.
And all her like Mexican inspired like that, like all the little like mariachi guys she's done. I love him. And it's funny because then Coco kind of came out, but she's been kind of plugging away at those even before all of that. And I don't think we showed Sochi stuff either tonight. Oh wait,
we did.
We did?
Yeah.
We didn't on YouTube because I'm horrible.
We did on the Twitch stream, which actually.
Cool. No, that's
it's
cool.
Recorded also, and we did it full screen. So yeah.
Oh, rad. No, that's awesome. Because I was like, she's really good too. That's the other person I was gonna plug, and she's already on here.
Yeah. Is that like drawing?
Yeah,
the
like
yellow bikini one. It's fire. Awesome, good stuff. So
we're gonna take a look.
Oh, she's so good.
I love your Frida Kahlo one. Oh, it's so good. the color palette.
Just go down the line on hers. Just go down the line. That'll be perfect. Yeah.
God.
So good.
Right?
Just her line work there. I can't even. The flow.
And you met Jorge, right? That's his name, Jorge.
Yeah, I met him.
Yeah. What the heck?
It was really
awesome.
It was really weird. We were just walking, and then I was like, "Oh shit, it's Jorge."
That's the same thing with me. We were at CTN, and he was outside, and I was walking by, and I was like, "Jorge." He's like, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah.
Again, super chill. Super, just like.
He's really cool, and we took a picture with him, and like as soon as we were done, like taking the picture, like this like crowd of people just were like following him, and I was like, oh, okay. Caught him right at the right time.
Yeah.
When else had noticed him?
Yeah, your Riverdale characters are so cool.
Thank you.
That's not them. No.
She's like, oh, those old things.
Is that Archie? No, I don't know. I don't know. It's just you're not just good at character design. You're good at other things, just like Steph, Janet, anyone that can do. Tara. Tara is the other one I'm thinking.
Tara Key.
Yeah, she's really good.
Tiny Tara Key. Yeah.
Her color is like.
She's the nicest person ever. She's so sweet. She's so sweet.
You keep saying these stuff about everyone else, and you've told me this about me. Are you a liar?
Everyone's really nice, though.
I'm like, they're the nicest person ever, and they're that one. I love that one.
This is so good.
Thank you.
Awesome. I don't know. I can tell it's her stuff. I can tell that's her drawings.
There you go.
Yep, Jorge.
He has a fantastic story.
Oh yeah, I heard it with Bobby Chu interview, right? Is that the one you?
Yeah.
Funny. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you go first.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I took that picture and then tagged him, and he like found me through that tag and like started following me. It was really
what?
See, tag your heroes, guys.
So now you know he's watching your stuff, and you're like, okay, he's gonna see this. No, I like your project, Lupita, and the.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I want to keep adding on to it.
I love all their shapes.
Even your props are tight. Come on, son.
And that, by the way, right there, General Gin Smoke, the one on the right, she's the one who introduced me to Sochi, and That's Morgan.
Yeah.
She's insane. I tried to get her for Ground Zero, but she's blowing up. She started working, I think she's like one of the youngest people that started working in like a theme park design, where she's like designing theme parks at a very young age, very young. And then on top of it, she's going to be hosting stuff at the, I'm going to say it wrong, like the Mexican Historical Gallery or something like that in LA. And she's going to be doing like a tattoo exhibit and all these amazing things she's doing. She's rocking it. So I have her to thank for introducing me to Sochi.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's also kind of like one of those people that like really tries to help in any way she can. So she's really cool.
That is so cute. Oh my God.
I know. I love it. Where are you from, Sochi?
So like both my parents are Mexican. So I'm Mexican American from LA.
Well, cool. Like from Mexico City are your parents, or where are they from?
My dad's from Mexico City and my mom's from Durango, so up north. And then my dad's like from the south. Yeah, so it's cool because every time I go, I get to see like both parts of Mexico. But I'm like really drawn to like the southern part of Mexico where like all the indigenous culture is at. I've been to Oaxaca once and like want to go again because I just think there's like so much culture there. And yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should work together on some.
We should.
See, I'm just saying, I've been trying to introduce her to Janet because they're both kind of in that area.
Yeah.
That
like, let's go back to our cultures, to our roots.
You're Mexican too, right?
I'm from here. My parents are from Mexico City.
Okay. And then Janet, is she Mexican?
She's Mexican American too. Yeah. She's from Guadalajara.
Guadalajara, yeah.
Yeah, her parents are,
Oh,
I love it. Connections. Look at this. Yeah. Networking live for everybody.
Spanish, just like
Anyway.
Yeah,
but those are like 3 girls for me right now. That would be like a power thing if they all got
happen.
Freelanced their own animation. Just throwing it out there. Just saying.
Don't do it, Eva. We're gonna do it.
No, I'm gonna make it happen. No,
we're gonna plant the seed, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But no. Anyway, that all makes it. I'm really happy you guys did that. Thank you, because I know like Janet is gonna be a big hitter this year for Ground Zero, and I know she's a little on the shy side, and I didn't want to embarrass her.
She did want to do this, actually. She did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, invite her in. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so maybe you have someone else you can interview in the future after you meet her at Ground Zero. Just saying.
Heck yeah.
Please. Yeah. She's awesome. She's also very sweet and nice.
She's also the nicest person ever.
The nicest person ever.
Fine, I'll just start writing checks out to people. Like, here, you're cool. Here's a check.
Thanks.
Thank you. Everybody just needs to meet up and do this once a week. Can we just meet up and start at like 5 and then wrap at like 3 in the morning and just talk about other people's art?
Yeah.
You've got a whole new podcast to start. Just looking at other people's Instagrams.
We'll call it the Animation Network.
Oh, wait, no.
Just kidding. I just wanted to bring it back to Chris.
But Can is going to be available on websites. No, I'm just kidding. Such a sad day to know that. I'm happy for them, but I'm sad that people are going to not have the full Chris anymore.
Yeah.
But good for him. That means he's doing great. So that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks to Chris Wimberly for coming on.
Yeah.
And we can go around. Let's go around this way. Hey, Stephanie, if people want to find your work online, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Steph Obel, same as Twitter. And then my website is stephanierizo.com. Find my art on there.
R-I-Z-O.
R-I-Z-O.
Perfect. And Sochi, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at Chalks in a Box. And then my website is Xochitl Tines Art. And I think someone spelled it out on the side. My name is weird. Yeah, Xochitl. last name THIENES art.com. So
perfect. And yet again, we're going to have all the links on the show notes and in the YouTube. So go ahead and we'll have everything there.
Yeah.
Ah, lady of the hour.
Oh yeah. There's no lady here.
Where can people find out about you, your work, and Ground Zero?
Okay. Well,
you like that dramatic pause?
I am Eva. No, I'm Eva Sowinski, and I'm Critterosity, which everyone has the hardest time saying, and to me it's pretty easy, but it's Critter and then Osity, which he'll spell out. That's my own personal work, which again, that's not even, I don't even want to plug myself per se, but I'll do it because here I am. And then Ground Zero is a GZA Expo. We did it that way because you don't want to type out Ground Zero Animation Expo every time you do something. It's a lot.
You don't.
So you're just taking the first letter of it and then typing Expo. And then the website is gzaexpo.com, or you can actually type out groundzeroanimationexpo.com. We own that one too, so it will reroute you. Tickets are free right now for Ground Zero. That's general admission. And then you can go to the ticket page that I just added that leads you to all the different tickets and what they mean and what you can do with them. So I'm keeping up on the website as best I can, but I am a one-person show until the weeks of, and that's all my volunteers come and help, which is awesome. And we did just change locations. So I want people to remember it's not at Art Institute. It is now the Boys and Girls Club of Stanton, and it is a rad location. Parking's free, and then there's Fan Alley, and we put on the Artist Lodge shows, and that's hosted by Fan Alley's creative curator, Marissa of Hum Along Productions, just giving her a shout out. And we're on Instagram as Fan Alley, FANALLEY. Boom. And yeah, so Ground Zero and Fan Alley are like sister sites kind of thing, sister events. But Ground Zero is my baby. So that's where all my hard work goes into.
Boom.
Came in dancing, leaving dancing.
That's it. Hey, Charlie, where can people find you?
You can find me on my website at cargocollective.com/CharlieBWilliams. You can find me on artstation.com. That's CharlieBW3, Instagram, CharlieBW3, Twitter, CBW3, Almighty Pinterest, get your resources and concept and all that other good stuff that I collect. CharlieBW3, get it in your life. That's it.
Thank you.
You've never done that one before.
Yeah, right. I'm Carlos Gomez. You can find me at carlosrgomez.com or coconutjustice.com. Coconut Justice, literally everywhere else. This is Sketch Zone. You can find us at sketch.zone. This was show 136. So you have 135 other ones of these that you can partake if you go to sketch.zone, or obviously we're on YouTube and Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube and or Twitch, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell on YouTube. That'll let you know when we're coming on.
Shout out to Jack.
Shout out to Jack. Sketchbookjack.com. Sketchbook Jack everywhere else. Get home safe. Let's see. What else? Sketch.zone. We got, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The fun prompt for the week is Black human female in a skeleton outfit walking in a desperate and self-destructive way. And remember, if you decide to draw that and post it on Instagram, tag us because we will show your work. And next week is going to be a good one because Marco is a badass and a teacher. So he's going to give you some, pointers. So yeah, we're on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and on iTunes. Go ahead and subscribe everywhere we are. And I think that's it for us. Thank you, ladies. so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thanks, guys.
Such a good show for me. It was easy and it made me smile.
And what a lovely smile.
My mommy gave it to me.
Oh my word.
All right, everyone. Have a good week.
All right.
Hey guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Guys.